Because, heck, at that point, we're spending so much time with it, Lucas.
I want more hours.
You want more?
I didn't even like that they brought in the rule changes of no clock stoppages on first downs. The 2-minute timeout does stop the clock. But I'm like, no, I want 5-hour college football games. I don't want it to end when I want games to go until 1 and 2 a.m.
You want all of it.
All of that. Yeah, no doubt. But I bet that was a switch up for you going from Titans radio on the sidelines to the Vol Network booth, because you're right, man. NFL halftimes, like, you got time to go to the bathroom and get a snack, and you've already missed the second half kickoff. But and then you got the World Series going 6 hours on a Tuesday night.
I know, which is insane. I can't believe, I'll be honest, I'm not sure. By the way, did you know that Joseph Bonanno is now Canadian?
Oh, I've heard rumor of this, yeah. I've heard he's a traitor to his people.
He's a traitor to his people. And, you know, our good friend, my brother, our teammate, Ron Slay, a.k.a. Savage, was just like, Mookie's from the city. You're rooting against Mookie, and he's just like, no, I have a strong hate for that team because his Braves love and affection and stuff like that. But he turned Canadian yesterday. I say all that to say I had no idea. I didn't think that the Blue Jays would ever be in a position where they're up 3-2 on them. That was a shocker to me. But the baseball purists, I know for a fact, are in a position where it's just like, this is what happens when you actually play baseball. You make contact with the ball. You're not chasing the home run every single time with a big play. Me, myself, I've enjoyed this. I kind of want to see if the Dodgers can kind of come back a little bit, because baseball is momentum. And it's also on who you got in your dugout, too, or your bullpen when it comes down to pitching. Pitching matters. And I know Bert is as happy as a doggone frog with a fly right now, man.
Thank God. Slay was in here last week and giving Robert a pep talk going into that Miami game because
he did.
It's gotten to a point, Moan, where, I mean, it's untenable. Robert Walsh after a Thursday night, or after a Ravens loss, 28-6 the final. Baltimore in Miami, and Lamar Jackson's back. I mean, Lamar Jackson put on a clinic, 18-23, 204, 4 passing touchdowns on only 18 completions. Derrick Henry back, 119 yards, a long of 35. And the Ravens back after picking up their third win of the season, and the schedule lightens up significantly moving forward.
It does, and Pittsburgh is going to fumble the ball. I'm talking about in the worst way right now. They lost to Cincinnati. That was crushing to them, because now the race in the AFC North is just wide open. Baltimore, I don't think, has even played that many AFC North games. So the way they looked last night, man, and how Lamar, for the most part, is just a magician behind his offensive line. It's nuts. It was 2-3 times I'm watching the game last night, and they got Lamar bottled up. And Miami's got some good rushers. They can get home to him because the Baltimore offensive line is suspect at time. And it's always that way, too, when you got a mobile quarterback. Mobile quarterbacks are the worst quarterbacks to block for. You don't know where they're going to be, because they trust themselves more than they trust the guys up front. So they're going to go up and down and back and side to side. They had Lamar bottled up, and he gets out of it and find Isaiah Likely for like a 30-yard throw. And I'm just thinking to myself, he's back. That's all you can really say, Lucas, is he's back, and everybody else is going to have to pay for it, because I'm sure at this point he's going to be ticked off. He had the ping pong tables moved out of the locker room. His leadership is through the roof, and then everybody's been talking about him. He's legitimately back right now, and all I can say is, well, AFC is going to knock each other out again, because you got Lamar. You got I don't know what Houston is, but Houston's been on a little bit of a run as of late. Mm-hmm. You got the Colts. You got Kansas City. And is Joe Burrow? No, and you got Buffalo.
Yep. New England.
And New England. It's going to be a dog-eat-dog world for the AFC side of this thing for, I think, all of November, all of December, and we're going to go insane because we love that type of football.
Not to mention the 6-2 Broncos, the 5-3 Chargers that are going to be at Nissan Stadium on Sunday. It's loaded. It's going to be cannibalistic for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
The Ravens, on a long week of rest, have the Vikings on the road next. Follow that up with a trip to Cleveland, and then back home to host the New York Jets before taking on a Bengals team that will be without Joe Burrow, and I suppose could be without Joe Flacco, who seems like he could miss Sunday's game dealing with an injury, and Jake Browning could get the call up for the Bengals. So things are looking on the up for the Baltimore Ravens. And this is what I hate the most about Robert's fanhood, because I love how passionate he is, Moan, but I grew up a Titans fan, right? I was born in Tennessee. I was born in Nashville.
Yeah.
I grew up hating the Ravens for taking Titans legends and making them Ravens legends, right? For beating the Titans in the postseason, the rivalry that series has been over the years. And Robert's got me out here rooting for the Ravens because I know what kind of Robert Walsh I'm going to get on Monday morning if they lose. Like it's gotten that bad, Moan. After the week 1 loss in Buffalo, I've never seen this man. I mean, I've never seen anybody just as
really
demonstratively devastated as Robert was. He was inconsolable for the entire day. And at one point, I just said, it can't be this way, man. It can't be like this all season long. So I, unfortunately, begrudgingly am happy the Ravens won last night.
I think he needed at least 2 days to recover. It was bad. You couldn't even ask him a question.
You couldn't.
There was nothing that you could do to cheer that man up.
We should talk about him behind his back like this over the radio. I'm 100% with y'all. Y'all know me. Y'all know where I played at. I love, the Ravens' demise. It's a part of my DNA because of where I played. And anytime I could mess with my friends who are Baltimore Ravens fans, anytime I could just mess with a fan on social media when I was playing, I did those things, Lucas. I didn't care. My heart was cold. Do you understand me? I'm talking about ice cold when it came down to a Raven. And I'm with you. Being around Burt, I didn't even say nothing to him about the losses. I was sympathetic to him because I know he got so emotional.
Yep.
Are we the problem? Because now he played this big old game with us and used our emotional strings. And when they get good, he's going to be walking around here with a little bounce in his step.
Now, the AFC North looks like it's setting up to be a battle down the stretch.
It can be.
With the Steelers at the top, coming off back-to-back losses. The Bengals 3-5. Joe Flacco did practice yesterday for what it's worth. And now the Ravens with the potential for a back half surge here down the stretch. So between the AFC North and the AFC West, there are some knockdown, drag-out fights setting up to happen in the AFC, not to mention the Patriots and Bills at the top of the AFC East. So here we are, getting ready to cross the midway point of the regular season. And it's not been a fun one in Tennessee, but there is one thing or multiple things to continue watching for with the Tennessee Titans. Cam Ward, as he continues to progress with these young pass catchers. And we'll talk more about that and what the rookie quarterback had to say about his progress earlier this week. That's next. Ramon and Will on 104.5 The Zone. Another Sunday, another Titans game day, and another sample size for one Cameron Ward this weekend at Nissan Stadium against the Los Angeles Chargers. Welcome in. Happy Halloween. Lucas Panzica in for Will this morning, fueled, of course, by Scooter's Coffee. Visit a locally owned location near you in Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast, alongside the 11-year NFL veteran, Vault Network analyst Ramon Foster, Justin Hawkins, making it happen behind the glass. And we're going to hear from Cam Ward in a few moments. I'm going to need some Scooter's Coffee here in a little bit. Running
Got us
on.
brewing up some, man. I told you, if you came in, Lucas, man, I'd even feed you this morning, man. We'll figure out a way to get you some nourishment this morning on Halloween. Make sure that you're ready to go trick-or-treating tonight, Lucas.
You're taking care of me. I appreciate it. We were talking in the break. I'm the kind of guy that if I get home late, great game in Murfreesboro, by the way, on Friday Night Rivals.
Who'd you cover again?
Battle of the Borough, Riverdale, Oakland, taking some punches, back and forth game. They end up pulling away and winning. Talent-loaded matchup. And we'll talk to Tate Matthews a little bit about some high school ball, the regular season finale weekend. That's coming up at 9. But I'm the kind of guy, I get home super late, knowing I got to wake up earlier than usual. Sleep's just not going to be a thing for me.
It won't be.
Because then you get in bed and you are putting pressure on yourself. Like, I got to fall asleep. I got to get 6 hours. I got to try to get 5 hours. And then you're just thinking about it. And then you're just laying there. And it's just.
It's that part of it, too. It's talking to yourself about how much sleep you need. And I'm a think sleeper, if that's a thing, Lucas, where my mind wanders a little bit while right before I sleep or while I'm thinking about the next day task and stuff. So I feel you on that. Don't give me any anxiety also. Like knowing that I can't miss an alarm, this is new to you in the morning, so I'm sure you're like, I can't miss this alarm. Everything going through your mind. This is why some people choose to make sure that they have sleep gummies, okay? It's for this particular reason right here. Although I can't do the melatonin.
I took one last night. I can't do it either, man. It adds a weird vibe to it all. And
that's what I heard.
It puts you half asleep, and then I feel like you never get into a deep sleep. And I regretted it immediately.
So whenever we used to take those West Coast trips in college or in the NFL, they give us the Ambien. You have to sign off on it and stuff.
All right.
But it's so you.
Let's go.
That's like mama giving the baby Benadryl.
Exactly.
This is just wander off a little bit.
Rubbing rum on a baby's gums or something. Just a little nip.
A little nip. But they would come ask us on West Coast trips and stuff like that. Hey, you want an Ambien? If we were going across the pond to London, I just couldn't force myself to take it. I either got to be tired. Yeah. I'm not going to force myself down through a pill, if that makes sense, unless I'm about to have a surgery. So you and me were just alike, Lucas.
Well, I remember the conversations preseason with Cam Ward and all of these 5 a.m. meetings with he and the other rookies. And somebody, I can't remember who, asked him in one of those scrums, how many hours of sleep are you getting a night? He wouldn't say it, said however much my body needs. So I don't know how many hours of sleep a night Cam Ward is getting, because I believe those 5 a.m. meetings are still going on at the facility as Cam Ward just tries to work his way and try to get better in the midst of all of these things that have been thrown at him. And we are, of course, on 104.5 The Zone TV, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. You can chime in on the F&M Bank chat. A comment there that we're going to get to here in a minute. You can also chime in on the phone, 615-737-1045. James on the F&M Bank chat says, the Cam Ward experiment needs to be over after this season. I'm tired of wasting time with him, and when a new coach comes in, he will want his guy at quarterback as he should. This way we do it right, instead of forcing the coach to put a square peg in a round hole. What do you make of that? The idea of a new coach potentially wanting to come in and want his guy at quarterback versus the Titans making a hire contingent upon a coach coming in to maximize Cam Ward and using him as something to make this job as appealing as possible.
Man, that's circumstantial. I'll just put that out there first. It's yes, you kind of want everything to align because it seems like every new regime that's come in, the newest one has changed something that the old one has done. Okay, J-Rob guys are gone. You look at Rand guys are gone. You look at now Borgonzi and Chad got to get their guys in. Okay, now you talk about the head coach. I can understand how that makes sense here due to alignment. But Mike Tomlin inherited Ben Roethlisberger, right? I'm looking at Jim Harbaugh inheriting Justin Herbert, right? I'm looking at different scenarios around the league in which these guys, Liam Cohen, inherited Trevor Lawrence, like across the league, this isn't an automatic thing. Like I think we see some of the successful teams around and you say to yourself, oh yeah, this will work. You got to also look to Philadelphia. They got Philadelphia. They have a second round quarterback who's their starter, right? He's not a bona fide first round draft pick. There are other teams there are other organizations that have different regimes quarterbacks. The issue that you got to deal with is this. What are you willing to do to make this work with this guy? That to me is the biggest issue that they have to figure out. What are you doing as a coach to work with this guy, and who are you also bringing in as an organization to work with Cam Ward too? I don't think he's a lost cause. I think his work ethic is going to push him over the top when it comes down to coaching and coordinator matching him. I will give him that. The ability to match him up with the right coordinator and the right offense is crucial. I don't know if Callie's ability to do that was something that Cam liked, if it's something he want to do, or my point on this and my stance has been this, Lucas. Somebody's going to have to tell Cam what to do, and Cam's going to have to do those things. Whoever the next guy is, and I understand where this guy is coming from by saying, hey, get them all out of here and start all over, but I think it's going to start with the respect of the resume of the guy that comes in next, period. There's no other way around it. It's got to be somebody that Cam's going to walk in on game days with and feel like he can trust. And not just that, other teams respect the fear that this guy has done this job before. I don't think Callie understood what a Cam Ward, I guess, game plan should look like. I think when you look at the last two quarterbacks that have been here, respectfully, I say this to Coach Callahan because I don't know his game plan, I don't know his mindset, and I don't know his conversation with those guys. But Will Levis's biggest attribute was his arm, was it not?
Yes.
He's got a cannon of an arm. Remember, we all talked about that. What was he allowing Will Levis to do? Throw down the field. He let Will Levis do what he wants to do instead of keeping him in the box. Now, Will Levis, he didn't tell him to throw the flip six, throw dumb passes down the field. That's on him. But I also look at that and say you're supposed to train these guys up and keep them in a box when they're younger. Cam Ward, the same exact thing, right? You want to roll him outside of the pocket and let Cam cook in these long, drawn-out protections and routes down the field. The young quarterbacks that I know, they get started with a basic plan. Now, what C.J. Stroud was capable of doing, Jaden Daniels was capable of doing with their legs, that's a different story. Cam's not that type of athlete, in my personal opinion. I think C.J. Stroud's a better athlete than he is. We've watched, I feel like those guys, natural born with gifts, accelerate them faster than what Cam is. Cam doesn't want to be known as a runner. He wants to be known as a thrower. So because of that, Cam's got to be put in the box and reset, in my personal opinion. The next coach has to have a plan for Cam and tell Cam, you don't understand this league. Do as I tell you to do right now until you figure out defensive coverages, get better wide receivers, get better protection from the offensive line.
And I think, Moan, we've seen two of Cam Ward's three best performances as a Titan in the last 2 weeks since Mike McCoy took over as the interim coach. Bo Hardegree's still calling plays. I think you have to place the Cardinals' performance kind of in its own category, right, at the top, because the Titans have yet to put together a four-quarter game on offense. And that's a game where he showed up in the fourth quarter, where he pushed the ball down the field, was gifted opportunities, no question, by Arizona,
Absolutely.
but took advantage of them in a way that we hadn't seen yet this season. But it's reversed in the last two games, where the Titans have gotten off to better starts. And I was listening to Greg Cosell on 3HL yesterday, who said he thinks Cam Ward's performance in Indy last week was by far the best performance of his rookie year so far. So Cam was asked on Wednesday by Titans media where he thinks he's progressing at this point in his rookie season.
Yeah, I think I improved every game. From an operation standpoint, from a play calling standpoint, to getting in and out of huddle, to knowing where guys is, to being an NFL quarterback. I think every game's got better. Then for each other position, every game we've had together, we've got better chemistry at. Because practice is a lot different than the game. So, I'll continue to work with those guys, continue to work with me. We're going to continue to be better.
Cam Ward starting to establish that connection with his fellow rookies, too. Titans rookie pass catchers had the third highest mark of any rookie class in one game this season in Indianapolis. 13 catches, 168 yards, 1 touchdown collectively between Elikayu Manor, Chimere Dike, and Gunnar Helm, who had the touchdown. Dike led the way with 7 catches for 93 yards. So what are some of the minute things that you're starting to see Cam pick up along the way, clean up that maybe he showed, especially in that first half against Indy?
I just think it's one thing that he had a little bit more of in that game. Cam, when he has the ability to stay in the pocket and stand upright and deliver the football, that's a better version of him. I feel looking at that Colts game, they allowed him to do a good bit of that if he wasn't under pressure. He attempted to stay in the pocket longer, although he has this natural, I guess, clock in his mind right now that he has to move out. I'm looking at a play right now, and the pocket integrity is there. He doesn't have to move. It was right after the bot snap fumble to Tony Pollard where he pulled it and ran the football. The very next play is a long down the distance, and, of course, it's a rush. The pocket integrity was there for Cam. Cam aborts the pocket and creates chaos for himself for no particular reason at all. What I saw for him was this, though. It was better timing and better winning from his wide receivers, too. A part of his relationship on his career is going to boil down to how good his wide receivers are. I feel like right now, Chimere Dike is not in a position where people are watching him as often, so he's getting open. There's not a whole lot of tape on him, and you got to respect the guy that's able to catch the football coming his route. Alex kind of, Ayumana is somewhat tape it off because I think people have realized he's the guy, so they're putting more focus on him. He's not going to get as open as much, but that's what I saw. I saw wide receivers getting open, Cam standing in the pocket, shoulders upright, and as long as the game is competitive early, he's delivering those types of strikes, though, too, Luke. So to me, it's more circumstantial than it is he being in a position to where he's overly progressing or progressing at a better rate. That game was early? It was like 17-7, so it wasn't out of hand just yet. Now, what I will say, the difference in the second half, you saw Cam get a little bit more sporadic in his technique. His feet was a little bit wider. He's got to lean and dip in his shoulder when he throws the football down the field because he's pressing to make plays. When the game is comfortable for him, you're going to get the better version of Cam Ward at that point. I just think early on in the game, you got more of that because the game was closer. He didn't have to rush anything, and they were actually playing football. When it gets out of hand, Lucas, it's a different story.
Titans injury report from yesterday for Sunday's game against the Chargers included once again Calvin Ridley as a non-participant with the hamstring. Jeffrey Simmons, same deal. So seems very doubtful that either of those two will make their return on Sunday. Mike McCoy will meet with Titans media today after practice around the 12:30 mark where he'll update injuries. Elsewhere, Blake Hance, the offensive lineman, did not practice, was placed on IR by the Titans, so he will miss a minimum of 4 games. Haven't seen Blake Hance in quite some time in a Titans shirt playing on the field. James Lynch limited with a shoulder injury. Dan Moore, a full participant, which is good news as he did not practice on Wednesday with the shoulder. Jihad Ward did not practice for rest/personal reasons. Kevin Zeitler was back to being a full participant after sitting out due to rest. Xavier Woods, the safety, did not practice once again with the hamstring. Same goes for Arden Key with a quad. Darrell Baker Jr. did return as a full participant in concussion protocol. So good news for a cornerback room that is whittled down to the bone at this point with the trades of Jarvis Brownlee and, of course, just this past week with Roger McCreary and L'Jarius Sneed heading to IR. So some good news, bad news there. Cam Ward will have his left tackle, Dan Moore, to see what he can maximize against this Chargers front on Sunday.
Yeah, the injuries. This is what happens with bad teams, too. I mean, they pile up and they become intense because losing. I saw a football game last night, and this high school team in West Tennessee was losing real bad. You know how many kids went down over the course of that game?
Like injured?
Yeah, injured. Like 6. Just because nobody wants to be a part of it. I'm very interested to seeing how Coach Mike McCoy can get these guys motivated again. What's it going to take to get them motivated to where they feel like they want to be competitive? Because after this bye week, like, decisions has got to be made at this point too. I'm just speaking about like the business side of this thing. How many more young guys are you willing to play? How much are you willing to expose Cam Ward? At what point do guys decide professionally not to necessarily shut it down, but make those decisions like, if I got an ankle and I would usually play with, I'm not going to play this week. It's already bad. Like, they've lost to teams that are that are bad themselves. And that's where it becomes super problematic. Like looking at where the Raiders were as a squad. All right, and right now you've already got Indy out the way. Jacksonville seems to be a little bit better, and you still got Houston, who put B2A also earlier this year. All right, Coach McCoy's biggest issue is having to convince those guys that this still means a lot. And that's where the trickiness and the mind, I guess the psychological side of head coaches is going to have to come to play. That, to me, is where his experience is going to have to pay dividends for this team, because you don't want guys going out there half-assing it, and the next thing you know, they're injured also. Or Cam's get put in a position that you don't want him to be in too. I do want to see how the ending of this happens this year. And Will and I had this conversation earlier this week. The issue that you have with asking guys to do stuff for you with this current staff is, in my opinion, maybe two coaches survive it. Who am I trying to impress? You guys or the next coach at this point? And then the other issue for me, as I've said this before, is the changes that are being made as far as shipping guys out. Who's making those decisions? Like, coaches want to coach the players in the building. But we even heard Denard Wilson kind of push back a little bit. It's like, those three guys that I had on the team were starters. I don't have them. They're making the jobs of the coaches a whole lot harder. And if you're talking about personnel and changing up the roster, who does it mean more for? Does it mean more for the coaches who are you being coached by and you want to respect? Or to the GMs that are just plucking guys and sending them on their way? Respectfully, I say that because I think there's a plan behind it, but you don't want to have trades this time of the year and losing guys that are bona fide starters on this team.
Well, speaking of that, Chigakonkwo did not practice yesterday with a foot injury. He was limited on Wednesday. Obviously, Chig's name is one that's been brought up a lot in potential trade rumors, and we'll get to more on that a little bit later on in the show. 615-737-1045 is how you jump in. So let's talk about the protection in front of Cam Ward, what that looks like on Sunday as Dan Moore practiced yesterday, and just the general evolution of the Titans offensive line this season. Johnny's got a question for Ramon. We'll get to his call and continue the discussion next on 104.5 The Zone.
Is your concrete in need of repair? Maybe your sidewalk is shifted on you, your driveway is cracked and sinking, or maybe your porch steps have moved on you. You know what it looks like, too, when they're leaning down a little bit. You're walking up, you feel like the shift in it. Yes, shifting concrete can create a dangerous situation, just trip hazard around your home. It's also just a big eyesore. It's Ramon Foster, and whatever is going on with your concrete, call United Structural Systems. Ask them about their polyurethane foam injections. You've heard about USS for a long time, y'all. It's the same company that's provided superior foundation repair and waterproofing to Middle Tennessee since 1994. Well, they can also fix your sunken or settling concrete. USS uses polyurethane foam injections to lift and repair your sinking concrete in a matter of minutes. Lifted concrete, well, it can be walked on immediately or even driven on after about 30 minutes. So listen to me. Don't go through that long, expensive process of ripping out and replacing concrete. Reach out to the company I trust, man. That's United Structural System. Their website is USSTN.com. That's USSTN.com, or call them 615-488-7855. United Structural Systems.
Hey, it's Will Bowling. When it comes to ensuring clean air in your home, Lee Company delivers. Their award-winning team provides thorough whole-home duct cleaning services that eliminate dust, debris, and other allergens from your HVAC system. The result? Improved air quality, enhanced system efficiency, and peace of mind. Even better, Lee Company is offering 10% off a whole-home duct cleaning for a limited time. So why wait? Schedule online at LeeCompany.com. That's LeeCompany.com for their duct cleaning services for the folks with over 80 years of experience in Middle Tennessee. Lee Company is a household name here in this area, trusted since 1944, and they're available 24/7 with 14 community locations. So make sure that HVAC system is running the way that it's supposed to. Get the improved air quality and peace of mind by trusting my friends at Lee Company. Get 10% off a whole home duct cleaning now for a limited time by going to LeeCompany.com. That's Lee Company, all you need.
You're going to run out at some point. It's a 4-hour show.
It is a challenge.
How many Halloween songs does Justin Hawkins have in the bank?
I think he got a few. I think he can always play Thriller.
Oh, yep.
You can that's another
don't give
banger.
up my playlist.
After Thriller is where it starts to get dicey. Monster Mash is out. You don't get any repeats.
What movie is Monster Mash from?
I have no idea what Monster Mash is from.
That's what? This is actually my first time ever hearing Monster Mash. I've never heard this song before in my life that I recognize currently.
Really?
Yes, never have.
I've heard it a million times. I could not tell you what it is. A 1962 novelty Halloween song by Bobby Boris Pickett and the Crypt Kickers. So
I see. Was it from Frankenstein? Also, I'm seeing it on the wiki.
I think you're talking about the Addams Family.
Is it the Addams Family? It's the movie. I'm sure it's been so many movies that it's been used in too at this point. No doubt. That's my first time ever hearing it, by the way.
that blows my mind.
That I recognize. I also want to throw that in there too. I'll mindlessly hear stuff and I just don't recognize. You know how I am with the naming the song type of stuff too.
We'll see if Hubs is down for Halloween music or country music. I'll have to ask.
It's got to be a country Halloween song.
It got to be.
It has to be.
Do those even exist? It's a challenge.
GPT?
Yep, we're going to find it.
There you go.
That works.
So Justin will get hard at work at that. 615-737-1045 is how you jump in. Johnny in White House has a question for Ramon. What's up, Johnny?
Good morning, Johnny.
Hey, good morning, guys. I appreciate y'all taking my call as always, man. It's perfect to start the days off with you guys. Y'all are always positive, so I appreciate all that very much. Hey, listen, I'm 42 years old. I was born and raised here. I'm from White House, Tennessee. Moan, actually, I know the guy you coach with, or you coach with, Hunter, Coach Mash. Known him his whole life.
Yeah, that's my guy.
Fantastic. His dad was my middle school football coach. But anyways, I don't understand. This is the frustration I got this morning, and it's Tennessee Titans, Nashville sport fans. The second one thing goes wrong, people jump ship. Like you said earlier, y'all were talking about this guy commented how we need to get rid of Cam Ward. Listen, there are people that make hundreds and thousands and millions of dollars to observe these people. We have zero clue. And the point I want to bring up is this, okay? There was a clip where it's a journalist, a reporter, that Cam Ward was trying to spit off a play to this person, an NFL play, and the person couldn't do it. 10 out of 10 of us people that call in could not recite an NFL play. It's like zippity-doo-dah, hippo, lighter, Tennessee, 4-4, we can't do it. We can barely remember our Social Security numbers. Ramon, my question for you is this, okay? I'm sorry. I don't understand. Like, how do you differentiate, how your playing time, how you go to the UT game?
Johnny must.
Uh-oh.
Mentality out versus understanding where fans come from. Because like I said, man, I'm patient. If it takes Cam Ward 3 or 4 years to get it, as long as he gets it. We've got to be supportive. That's what these fans, we can't just give up when they have one bad game. Titans weren't supposed to be good this year, so everybody needs to realize that. We weren't picked to win the Super Bowl, so everybody relax. So, hey, but last thing always, Ramon, I always end my calls with this. Do you know what rhymes with Ramon Foster?
No, you got me. Where? What?
Balls by 50. Y'all have a good day.
Thanks, Johnny.
Johnny would have dropped right there. I was genuinely lost, Johnny. Hopefully I run into you in Sumner County. But with that being, I think the question was, Lucas, how do I differentiate between being a player in it versus an analyst trying to watch it develop? What does that look like? What I would say is this, though, Johnny. Recent history has, I think, made this fan base, what's the word I'm looking for? Just not optimistic.
Jaded.
So is that part of
Exhausted?
it? Exhausted. That's a better for Johnny. I think as in the last, about 4 years, like the fan base is exhausted. You're asking, how do you see through that and push through and find the good? Well, here's the thing. And it was the Chicks, the last one in his recruiting class or his draft class. You're seeing some good out of the draft picks that you have right now, but everything that you were told that was going to be good hasn't been. Cam hadn't been phenomenal this year, right? You see J.C. Latham as a top 10 pick. He hadn't been what you wanted him to be due to injuries and all kind of other stuff. And then I guess the other part of it too, Johnny, is the separation of the front office versus what's reality too. I do want this next spin around the calendar, how the front office will market itself. How will the team market itself? How will the coaches market itself? Because each team goes into the offseason, Johnny, and say this is our year, or we're going to be better this year. And they have said that. We've been promised that it was going to be better. Callahan was going to be a better coach. The offensive line was going to be a strong point. And guess what? You got the best quarterback in the draft this year, too. And then it nosedive. I think it's the level of exhaustion from the fans. I don't want to disparage the fan base by saying, hey, fans is short for fanatics, but we got to, bring that in, too. I'll be honest with you right now, Johnny, I don't know how long this is going to take. I want to believe that it can get turned around within 2 years with this new reset that they're going to have, with the new hiring of the coach, et cetera, Lucas. But then I say to myself, too, it's going to be young. We've seen this team in the last 3 years spend a crazy amount of money in free agency. They went and got high draft picks. They went and got new leadership, and nothing's changed. I'd say 3-4 more years is where you're at. That's kind of where I am on this timeline because I don't know, because Chad and Mike Berganza hadn't shown us what they look like as far as free agency resetting, how this is going to look. You can't tell me the attempts hadn't been made. I mean, you sign L'Jarius, that doesn't work out. You sign Calvin, that doesn't work out. Cush, I think people are hot and cold on him too, right? You go get your quarterback. Will Levis was also your quarterback. Lucas had the perfect word for it. You're exhausted. And I get it. I can't tell you as a fan to wait and see, but all I do know is this, as the players don't want this. That's why I believe the next coach that comes in here has to be a very respected, very just decorated coach that you can believe in too, and they actually show you these things and stop talking. I can go on and on and on about that, but this is what I always said when I first got on the show when this team was humming. I said this, you want to be a team that's constantly knocking at the door. And in that Ryan Tannehill era and Mike Vrabel, they were knocking at the door. Somehow that door got kicked in and everybody else is walking into your trap and taking over your trap right now. You're not even knocking at the door, so it's wait and see because nobody knows what this is going to look like because there's been so much turnover and change.
Well said. And that's hard to hear, right? But that's kind of what it is. So, I love the positivity from callers like Johnny and the things that there are tangibly to be excited about, like a Cam Ward, but also not going to begrudge Titans fans for just throwing their hands up at some point and saying, I don't know how much longer we can just keep waiting around as we go cycle after cycle after cycle.
Exhausted.
Let's shift gears here. Something a little less spooky. Talk some college football. Well, it's gotten spooky for some head coaches across college football, and it could continue to be so as the buyout number across the country has skyrocketed. Who could add to it in 2025? We'll talk about it next on 104.5 The Zone.
Prince's Hot Chicken, the original hot chicken. They know a thing or two about hot, so they are bringing you the hottest moments of the week from Ramon and Will. Justin Hawkins here. This is a segment I like to call Prince's Hot Mic.
So it was explained to me. I went on Facebook one day to see if I could figure out.
No, that's not the place to go to find out what trends are, is Facebook.
I'm just telling you.
But keep on. I want to hear where this
You're on
goes
TikTok
now.
now. You know better.
I am on TikTok now. So it goes down to the periodic table. The periodic table has the element on it. The element that it goes to is like a 6 or 6, 7. But that element is HO, like the garden tool. This is what Facebook said.
HO, like the garden tool.
Look
Thank
up
you
the periodic table.
for adding that proper context.
I don't want to say because I don't know what I can get away with on this show. I didn't even know we can say D's nuts, okay? We're here, okay?
This show's going to be a little bit different now that you do know that, but that's okay. Caller calls in and makes Ramon Foster mad. You know what you're going to respond with.
When's the last time you've been to D?
Hot mics and hot chicken. Prince's knows hot. Prince's Hot Chicken, the original hot chicken.
it can sound like a language of its own. But hey, if you can pronounce Demumbrian, then names like Yossi, Shea, and Marchessault will roll right off the tongue. Nashville Predators, only in Smashville.
.702, good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. Happy Halloween. I'm Justin Hawkins. Week 9 of the NFL season kicked off last night with the Baltimore Ravens dominating the Dolphins 28-6 from start to finish. Lamar Jackson, in his first game back since week 4 of the season, threw for 204 yards and 4 touchdowns. Meanwhile, Derrick Henry, he rushed for 119 yards, and the Ravens improved to 3-5. The Titans, they'll try to earn their first win of the season at Nissan Stadium this Sunday as they host Justin Herbert and the LA Chargers. Lee Company countdown to kickoff starts at 9 before Titans countdown begins at 11. And then it's Taylor Zarza and Coach Dave McGinnis on the call for Titans Radio for Titans and Chargers with kickoff at noon. Yesterday in practice, Jeffrey Simmons, Calvin Ridley, Arden Key, Xavier Woods, and Chikakonkwo all did not practice. College football this weekend, number 14 Tennessee hosts number 18 Oklahoma at 6:30 for dark mode at Neyland Stadium. Mike Keith, Ramon Foster have the call for Vol Network with coverage starting at 4 o'clock on the Zone. And then number 9 Vanderbilt, they travel to Austin in a battle with number 20 Texas at 11 a.m. on ABC. D.C. tonight, Game 6 of the World Series in Toronto as the Blue Jays hold a 3-2 series lead. The Blue Jays can win it all tonight with the win over the L.A. Dodgers. Tomorrow night, Nashville Soccer Club hosts Lionel Messi and Inter Miami at Geodis Park for Game 2 of the first round. While the boys in gold, they need a win to force a Game 3. First kick is at 6:30, and you can hear the game on Super Talk 99.7 WTN with coverage starting at 6 o'clock. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Welcome back in. It is Ramon and Will on 104.5 The Zone. Lucas Panzica stepping in for Will today. Ramon Foster with you until 10 a.m. Justin Hawkins making it happen, fueled, of course, by Scooters Coffee. As we continue the conversation, Titans hosting the Chargers Sunday at Nissan Stadium. Tennessee hosting Oklahoma. Dark mode activated for the Vols tomorrow night. You'll hear Ramon Foster on the call with one Mike Keith. By the way, y'all sound fantastic this season, man.
I appreciate it, Lucas. We're up there just having fun, man. Win, lose, or draw.
Exactly.
Even in the Alabama game, we all shared a moment before getting out of my truck. Me, Swain, and Mike Keith, we usually ride to the games together. On the road, we'll ride the team bus over because we get there super early. And we shared a moment. I was just like, if this can make it to radio, we kill it. We go ahead and get an Emmy right now. But it's cool when the guys you work with are also working too. You know how it is, like when everybody's pulling in the right direction, everybody's adding into it. So the fun that we're having is mostly, well, it's all organic in how we're going about doing it. Plus, every person involved with it got a strong attachment to it, went to that school too, so it hits a little bit different also. So you do the exact same thing, Lucas. You do the exact same thing, man.
No, not to that level, but I appreciate it. 615-737-1045 is how you jump in. Brent Hubbs will join us. We'll preview Tennessee, Oklahoma coming up at 7:20. But first, I don't know if Brian Kelly, if James Franklin, if Mike Gundy, Billy Napier are having fun with the millions and millions that they have received from their respective former schools to stop coaching their football team. But Brian Kelly's $54 million buyout last week has brought the amount of money that is owed to FBS head football coaches that are fired this season to over $167 million. $167 million. Now, Kelly's buyout is still being negotiated with LSU, but either way, it's going to be the highest of this carousel. It tops the $49 million that's owed to James Franklin after he was fired by Penn State a couple weeks ago. Also, falling victim to this, although I don't know if that's how you could put that as we're talking about buyout money. Billy Napier, $21 million. Mike Gundy, $15 million. Sam Pittman fired, $9.8 million buyout. Brent Pry from Virginia Tech, $6 million. Deshaun Foster, UCLA. Trent Bray, Oregon State. Trent Dilfer, UAB. Jay Norvell, Colorado State. So my question, Moan, is can we get it to over 200? What's the over-under for the buyout money that's going to be spent this year in college football? Because it's getting spooky for a few other coaches around the country as Mike Norvell is still seeking his first conference win this season.
Yeah.
And then there's two that I'm just kind of leaning back and squinting at, like, what's the deal right now with Dabo Swinney at Clemson?
I got another one for you if you don't call him out too. Auburn, Alabama.
Yep.
Was that your second one?
Yeah, and that's another one that's just hard to kind of nail down. Auburn fans, I think, want Hugh Freeze fired. Auburn's also lost all 4 SEC games that they've lost.
Yep.
With an average margin of defeat of 7 points, and there have been some horrible officiating decisions that have gone against Auburn. Feels like they have been on the end of every one of the most highly publicized SEC officiating disasters. The hidden substitution at Oklahoma that resulted in a touchdown, the Kirby timeout clapping thing, the touchdown that never was on the Plains for Auburn with the fumble that was ruled Georgia ball. What's more likely, that Dabo Swinney or that Hugh Freeze are out of a job by the end of the season?
I feel like Hugh Freeze is. I'd also throw Coach UK's coach in there also.
No, Mark Stoops.
Mark Stoops.
For sure.
But I think Auburn. And here's the reason why. Auburn was put in a position a few years ago with the old Boise State coach, Harsin, right, where he was hired. And that was an AD hire from my understanding. Like, he chose that guy, and the fans got upset. They wanted him out. He's not Alabama. He don't fit the culture. So what happens? That guy is gone. So you let the front office make it, but you as a fan base didn't like it yourself. This time around, I feel like Hugh Freeze was a fans wanted coach in Auburn, Alabama. And look how it's turning out. They also got to get to a point to where they stop listening to their fan base and let the football people and decision makers make those calls. I didn't know if Brian Harsin was that bad of a head coach. I thought he should have been given more time, and that's another payout they're probably still on the books for right now too, currently in Alabama, is Harsin and his staff being paid out. So you got him and Hugh Freeze. I think because this is so much of a fans hire, they got to go get rid of him and find a more serious contender to where the fan base can't attack him as often as they possibly can. Hugh Freeze came in with a little bit of baggage, came in a reputation of always beating Alabama. Now that that's not a thing anymore and Nick Saban isn't there, what's your calling card? I do think he's out. I think Mark Stoops are going to find his way out of there also. Is there also, 10 straight SEC losses too?
Yeah, that's over, man.
This is, so you asked the question, is it going to get to $200 million? Easily at this point. Deion Sanders, what is his going to look like? Does he want to stay in Colorado? I'm not sure if he's going to get fired, but it looks like the wagons that were on their way to Boulder, Colorado have slowed down. So if the economy isn't doing the same numbers and the winning isn't the same and the attention of College Game Day being there, that's another situation you got to deal with at this point. I'll add one more. It's probably a surprise he has no reason to leave, but has he hit his ceiling? But what is Miami? Does Cristobal continue to coach there? Does he want to take the leap to the next level too? I mean, I don't want to say they've underperformed because they're the top 10 ranked team at this point. But you do got to look at their outlook as a plan. Last year with Cam Ward, they were supposed to be the team. This year with Carson Beck, are they going to be the team that get over the edge finally for Mario Cristobal? And at what point does he kind of put his hat up and just walk to another destination, maybe the NFL himself? That's another one I have on my list, is that job.
Miami doesn't even control its destiny to get to the ACC championship game.
See what I'm saying?
I mean, I had them penciled in, man, as the ACC champs into the college football playoff, and then the slip up at Louisville. Dabo Swinney's buyout, $60 million. It's so hard to imagine that happening, but Clemson fans have got to want him out of there, right?
They have to.
I mean, is there a tenure across college football that feels like it's run its course more than the Dabo Swinney era at Clemson, other than Mark Stoops? Because I'm with you. Like, we in the F&M Bank chat is saying Stoops, Marcelo says Stoops should be number one on the hot seat. I'm basically considering Mark Stoops already fired. I'll be stunned if Kentucky brings him back.
How they can't find the money is weird to me. What do you mean y'all can't find the money in Lexington? I saw what Lexington looked like. Look at some of those horse farms. They got the money up there, Lucas. But go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I was just going to... Clemson, 11th in the ACC right now. They still have Duke, Florida State, Louisville, and South Carolina to close out the season. I mean, heck, both Clemson and South Carolina could very well be staring down the barrel of 5-7 or worse if things really spiral. I just don't know if they would do it, Moan. I don't know if they would pull that trigger on Dabo.
Another place that's probably in that same conversation. South Carolina and Shane Beamer. I feel like he's almost in a Dabo. Like, not necessarily they're tired of Shane, but Shane seems to have hit his ceiling, and Shane seems like he's got a girlfriend that's writing him little notes, and her name is Virginia Tech. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he get out front of this thing, that could be another job opening right there. Like, South Carolina, to me, I have a huge respect for it because when I played, like, that place was toxic. Also, I'm also thinking about, the other coaches that they had there, too, that made South Carolina what they were. They always put guys in the league, but I do think they got a lower ceiling than most organizations or most schools do. When do they get over the top when it comes down? No, I'm going to stop asking that question because I did that for Vanderbilt. Now look at them. Okay, but what I'm saying is this. When are they going to find a guy that's going to eventually get them over the top? If Spurrier didn't do it necessarily, and Shane is a hometown boy, like, Shane, I feel like, is at that point, too, to where he's just like, all right, well, what's next for me? His ceiling's been tapped, in my personal opinion, with a bunch of a few first-rounders and high-round draft picks to the NFL.
Yeah, bottom's kind of fallen out this year for a South Carolina team that was expected to push for the playoff. There is one name, before we get to the phones, because Zach in Hendersonville has his weekly Vols poem.
Yeah, he does.
There's a name that's been thrown around scuttlebutt around the Virginia Tech job, and that is James Franklin. at Virginia Tech. What would you think about James Franklin coaching the Hokies?
It's just another fan base that's primed to be sold something by by a car salesman. The history to me is Coach Beamer, is Mike Vick, is Marcus Vick, is the excitement of it, is Blacksburg. He would fit in, but I don't expect much. It sucks to say, but he's got so many battles with what Virginia Tech is, considering Virginia is doing something. If Dabo does stay at Clemson, he's got to fight that battle. He's got both Carolinas right now that he's dealing with. And also in that conversation is going to be Maryland because they pull from him, and also everybody else in the SEC. I don't know if he can go there and make a change. It'll be fine is the way I look at that situation in Virginia Tech. They'll get some lights on him because of his name. But that's a far skid right there to me from Penn State to Virginia Tech for him. Low ceiling.
I still don't know how good of a job it is at this point.
That's
Virginia Tech. 615-737-1045. We're going to hear from Brent Hubbs of VolQuest in a little bit to preview Tennessee, Oklahoma tomorrow. But let's hear from Zach in Hendersonville. Zach, what's going on? Good morning.
Zach.
Good morning and happy Halloween, Ramon, Lucas, Jayhawk. I just have a few things to say about some Sooners. Let's get to it. John Smear the Deer Mateer.
You ain't handsome? Oh.
Kyler, Call of Duty Murray. CD's Nuts Lamb. I have a poem for the entire University of Oklahoma. Covered wagon, Venable's cheeks a-sagging, Joey's balls a-dragging, dark mode engaged on Rocky Top, and John Mateer gonna be lagging. You think you can stop Brazel, Staley, and Matthews? Come on, bruh. Boomer Sooner gonna be slacking. Night football time in Tennessee will feel more like a nooner, and we will be bragging. It don't matter. Balls by Fitty. Happy Halloween. Go Balls.
Zach from the top rope with a few of those lines today, man.
Brent Hubbs of VolQuest next.
What's up, Will Bowling here, telling you about my new obsession, Daisy French Onion Dip. It's one of my guilty pleasures during football season, eating dips with chips, wings, and veggies while watching the big game. Now Daisy has come out with this stuff, Daisy French Onion Dip, Daisy Ranch Dip. They are a game changer. As delicious as a homemade dip, plus they're made with real herbs and spices and other ingredients you'd find in your own kitchen. The best news, they are all around you in Middle Tennessee. Head to your local grocery store and get some today. That's Daisy French Onion Dip at a grocery store near you.
Selling your home can be stressful, but it doesn't have to be. Get a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. There are no showings, no open houses, no stress. Work with the #1 real estate team in the U.S. and close with confidence. Go to markspain.com today.
Brent Hubbs of VolQuest joins us on 104.5 The Zone. It's a slow developing one, Brent.
I love it.
We appreciate your patience on that one.
Well, here's what I need to have happen this week. I need my Ashley Farrell booth cam because I want to see Mike and Ramon dance to that one. I mean, do you guys will that be like the slow dance at the 8th grade deal? Because here's what I can't figure out. I'm in isolation down there. And, I mean, Philip Noel, our engineer, heard me one game and he took me out of his ears so he doesn't have to hear me the rest of the time because I talk too much. Brad Willis will tell me to be quiet in a much politer way than that most of the time. But I'm watching that video, and I can't figure out if Brad Willis is that busy or if he's like the preacher in Footloose and he's just an anti-dance guy the entire time. I'm not real sure what's going on there, Ramon.
Hey, he's trying to control the fools up there, okay? That's what he's doing. He was trying to work, and we were trying to do everything to stop him from being productive. And you know what? He danced afterwards. I just want you to know that, too.
And what do we think Swain has in his headset? Because no one is more stoic than Jason Swain is for 4 hours. Like, he has the most camera-aware human being that there's ever been in a booth. I don't want a camera near me, by the way. But Swain just looks forward the whole time and never moves. Good or bad. He's just there.
I personally can't understand it because most athletes I know when they're inside of the stadium, Hubs, to your point, they get going. Eventually they get up. Eventually you see a head bob. I don't know what's going on in Swain's mind. I'm with you. I want to figure it out, but the more I feel like we dive into that conversation, the less we'll know.
All I know is must-watch TV is the Ashley Farrell reel on Sunday or Monday when she produces something out of that booth because a couple of you guys are acting a fool up there.
Yeah, a couple of us are. You can name us. You know who we are. Lucas asked me earlier, Hubs, he was just like, man, you guys got to be having fun. I was like, everybody on that team got the University of Tennessee somewhere in their house, and it's different when it's fun. It's different when you win, too, right? So we're allowed to at this point, right, Hubs?
Well, you're allowed to have fun, and hopefully Tennessee can play well enough Saturday night against Oklahoma to give you a chance to enjoy the winning aspect of it and continue to have fun. You're going to have fun regardless, but this one's big Saturday night for both teams. Huge ball game.
Mm-hmm. I do want to see the Mike Keith, Ramon Foster booth view, just that challenge of getting down to the spooky version of Rocky Top. Like, there's not a lot of rhythm to latch onto there. So I look forward to seeing that.
Lucas, did you not watch the video? I don't think there was any rhythm, period.
I don't think so. Yeah, maybe if it drops into the banjo and then it just hits regular Rocky Top. But no, I know it'll be rocking under the lights on Saturday. Brent Hubbs of VolQuest, brought to you by Ascend Federal Credit Union, your financial partner for every stage of life. So, Brent, I guess we're going to find out Saturday to an extent just how correctable the defensive issues are, right, for Tennessee. Has that kind of been the theme of the week in Knoxville in your conversations?
Yeah, I mean, it's be better. Not great, be better. And too many missed tackles, too many simple plays that they're giving up. I mean, the wide receiver screen for 71 yards should never happen. Absolutely never happen. You got to play that one better. You got two people over there. You can't let yourself get out of position and allow a play like that to happen. The deep ball, Boo Carter, just terrible technique at the line of scrimmage. So they've just got to do some simple things better. And I think Mike said this yesterday on the show, Ramon. I mean, you don't have to suddenly go from being to being an A+ defense or the Steel Curtain or the Baltimore Ravens. You've just got to eliminate the really bad plays. Just be a little more boring or a little more average. Now, I don't know that they're built to be average like they were last year. And what I mean by that is last year you got them in 3rd and long. You played at the sticks. Your secondary got you off the field. You didn't have to have a sack. It was kind of boring defense at times last year. I think this team's going to have to have this defense is going to have negative plays. And so the question is, how many negative plays can they generate against John Mateer? And I'm going to tell you something. Oklahoma, the last 2 games, has gotten better running the football with the running back, just a more of a traditional run game. Tennessee's going to have to fit some gaps and not let them get that kind of balance. They really need it in John Mateer's hands the entire game.
Brent Hubbs with us of VolQuest on 3. Hubbs, with that being in case you talk about this running game, Arion Carter's got 2 turf toes and has been playing through them a little bit. What's the answer at that position? Do you go Jaden Pilati? Do you go Jaden Harmon? Do you go Edwin Spillman? What's the substitute for this situation to control that run game?
Well, I think it's Spillman and I think it's Pilati is where you go. Jaden Harmon's in there, but to me, it looks like based on the rotation and what they did a week ago, he's a little bit further down, so to speak. So I think you're going to play Thielander and Spillman and Pilati as your top three, and then Harmon would be there. And we'll see. I mean, Arion in his heart of hearts wants to go and is trying to go. It's just the question's going to be, how well can he move? He got to the point late in that Alabama game where he just couldn't get anywhere laterally. I mean, he just could not get there and realized that it was more of a detriment than he was anything else. And so that's why they went without him kind of in the fourth quarter at Alabama. So I think he's questionable. They're going to list him as questionable, I think, all the way up to probably be a game-time decision, and then we'll see from there. I mean, he is doing everything he can to try to go, but I just don't know, A, if he can at all, and B, if he does go, I'm not sure how long he'd last before it just gets to the point that he can't effectively play, and that's what he's dealing with right now.
There's one guy on that team besides John Mateer you got to control, and it's Isaiah Satanga. Who's going to be employed with having him? Is Colton Hood going to roll? Do you put the young freshman, Redmond, on him? What's the game plan for a guy like him? Because I feel like you get the same sentiments of what happened in Georgia when they got these fast scat guys in Mississippi State, which the Vols knocked theirs out. But Satanga's a weapon, man, and he can take the top off the defense too.
Well, I think if he's out wide, I think you're going to see Colton Hood on him. And we saw Colton Hood travel some, and what I mean by that is flip side some. In the Alabama game with some of the stuff with Ryan Williams. If you go back to that Alabama game, remember Alabama's backed up inside their 5, and it was totally legal, so I'm not ripping on Kalen DeBoer at all, but he substituted Ryan Williams in late. They basically broke the huddle with 10, and then Williams came on the field. Well, when he came on the field, he got matched up against Ty Redmond, and they throw a 6-yard out off the goal line, and now they're the second 4, and they've got room to breathe and that type of thing. Tennessee would like to get Colton Hood matched up as much as they can this week on him for Oklahoma. You know, there'll be times that it doesn't happen, and you just got to go play. And Ty Redmond's got to have more confidence in his game, Ramon. You know, his pass interference penalty he had at Kentucky was just a bit of a panic move right at the end. He was in really good position. I mean, he was in a good spot to make that play, and just didn't turn and play the ball. He kind of got out of sorts where he was and grabbed and didn't need to do that. So he needs a good start to get going and try to get himself sort of settled in. And Tennessee's got to help him up front. You know, 1 sack the last 8 quarters, not enough for that defensive front. They've got to be more disruptive on the quarterback.
I see it in the war room. By the way, if you guys aren't subscribed to VolQuest or On3, you absolutely should go and do that. VolQuest.com, or you can go to On3 and find the VolQuest guys, man. Some of the best to do it. But this war room article, you mentioned something that was a little bit of a surprise to me. I've heard it, but I didn't know it was this big of a conversation. You mentioned Lane Kiffin talking about Brent Venables and his reputation of stealing signals. How far does this go, allegedly? Because I don't want to get you or me in trouble right here, Hubs.
Well, I mean, it's one of those deals where in the coaching circles, Brent Venables is known for being a guy who that's what they do. And the whatever lengths they can go to within reason, you know, they're not flying helicopters over the top of practice fields and stuff like that, but you know, that you got to be mindful of that. I mean, Lane Kiffin didn't just pull that out of air when he said, you know, Auburn should have probably changed their signals, because there were a couple of plays that Oklahoma appeared to know exactly what was coming. And so in the coaching world, it's known. And it's not a thing where people just can't stand Brent Venables or he doesn't have respect from people. You just know when you play him that's part of what they do, and you have to be mindful about switching up your signals and different indicators on what a signal is, and maybe you communicate more just through the helmet, and the quarterback creates some communication that way. But certainly we learned last year that it's something Josh Heupel in Tennessee takes seriously, and they certainly have done that this year as well.
Hubs, when you look at this running game that the Vols have, too, like it hadn't been the running game of last year or the year before. Is it bothersome to you that they only got 100 yards at Kentucky and Bama didn't really get anything until late? Or is it because Coach Heupel trusts Joey Aguilar so much more in the wide receiver group?
No, it's bothersome to me because here's the thing with the run game. It's can you get it when you got to have it? And I don't know that Tennessee is doing that well enough right now, or they have enough confidence in there. I mean, no offense to them in the Kentucky game, but I mean, 70 yards of that came in the fourth quarter when Kentucky was done. So that's a hollow 106 or 108, whatever they finished with there.
108.
It's taken it a little too long to get going. Some of that I think is some running backs, lack of patience at times. Other times they've not blocked it up well enough. They've faced a variety of different fronts, but this offensive line, this is their biggest test this week in both the run game and in pass protection. They've leaked a little bit in pass pro the last 2 weeks. When you look at, the 4 sacks they gave up at Alabama, 3 in the first half. They gave up a sack last week on a miscommunication against Kentucky. They're going to have to be excellent in pass protection this week. And they've got to run it. They've got to have some semblance of balance there. Now, you sit there and talk about the run game like against Georgia, and well, they should not have run it in the first quarter. I mean, the quarterback's 15 or 15, right? Mm-hmm. But when they got the ball and they had it with a chance to put that game away and take a double-digit lead, and they ran it 3 times, they didn't get it done. They've got to be able to be more effective when they have to have it, and there's not been enough of that with Tennessee. So they do think they have to run it better, not for the tune of 250 yards or anything like that, but they've got to be more effective running the football than they have been, in my opinion.
Brent Hubbs of VolQuest with us, presented by Ascend Federal Credit Union. How much of a matchup advantage, Brent, is Tennessee's wide receiver room versus this Oklahoma secondary tomorrow?
Well, if you can protect up front, I like Tennessee's wide receiver room against any secondary out there, to be frank. I think those guys are playing really well. I think some of the different stuff that Tennessee's doing in their offensive scheme now helps them as well. So I think there's a little bit of, 2 ways of going about it. Kentucky made a business decision last week to say, hey, we're not sure Joey Aguilar can throw it consistently enough deep. And he only went 7 for 7 and the ball thrown 20 yards in the air. I don't think Oklahoma is going to play that. If they do, Josh Heupel might dance like Ramon Foster dances if he looks out there and sees man-on-man coverage like that all the time. So I think Oklahoma will mix it up. They'll play some man because they got enough pride in who they are. They'll play man in some spots, but they won't play it as much as Kentucky does. So what does Tennessee do against zone? What's the answer when there's some 2 safety high looks and they're trying to take the deep stuff away? That's where Braylon Staley has to go eat, and he has to go to work. And he did against Alabama with 10 catches. And the creation of the slot receiver effectiveness with Staley this year compared to what they were getting last year out of the slot spot makes Tennessee harder to defend in the passing game. And I think that's a positive when you go against a good defense like Tennessee's going to go against on Saturday.
Does this feel like a big opportunity for you defensively, for Tennessee, to kind of get back to what they were doing in the first half of the season and affecting the quarterback? Kind of a leaky Oklahoma offensive line the last couple weeks, and obviously John Mateer hasn't quite looked like himself since that thumb surgery.
Well, if Tennessee's going to win, they've got to make Mateer uncomfortable, and they've got to tee off, and they've got to get some pressure. They've also got to play rush lanes, meaning your linebackers are going to have to wrap some in coverage. You need to squeeze the pocket down like they did early against Arkansas and not let the quarterback leak out. You got 2 young tackles coming to play for Oklahoma. I don't think that's as big a deal as it used to be because young players are playing more. I mean, used to when you say you're playing a freshman tackle, it was like, but that's not the case now. These guys are more ready to play, as we've seen with David Sanders. But hostile crowd, night game. Oklahoma hasn't experienced this. This group's only been on the road really one time, and that was a day affair against South Carolina. Now, they had the Red River rivalry in Dallas, but that crowd's about 50-50 with the way that game is put on. So this one's different, and Tennessee's crowd has to be in it early. Defensively, they need a couple of stops early to keep the crowd in it, Ramon, and keep them going. So you got to get off the field on 3rd down. But, I mean, you've got to try to make life hard for those offensive tackles. Joshua Joseph has to get back to not just pressuring or making the quarterback move. They got to finish at the quarterback better than they finished the last 2 weeks.
Hubs, on the recruiting side of things, man, it's been 3 times I think David Gabriel Georges has been to Knoxville. He's a projected future five-star running back that's out of Baylor and Chattanooga. What is that recruitment looking like for him? Is it just logistics and why he's showing up, or do they have a lot of momentum with him?
No, I think they got a lot of momentum with him. I think they're absolutely dead in the middle of it. The one thing about his visit is he's not just come up by himself or come up with an assistant coach. He's had family come with him, and the family doesn't live in Chattanooga. They've come from different places, and he'll have more family coming in with him this weekend as well. So I think the positive with that is not just David coming up to watch a football game, but the influences in his world that will help him through the decision-making process. They won't make the decision for him, but people he leans on during the process are making the trip to Knoxville with him, and I think that's a positive for Tennessee. Tennessee has got we don't have enough time in this segment. They've got a laundry list of guys coming in. I mean, this is a really good weekend of players who are coming in for this game. It's obviously a huge game. It's the biggest game in the SEC. It's got a lot of people flocking this way, both in the class of 27, 28, and a bunch of committed players too. So Tennessee needs to capitalize on this one with a great environment on Saturday night. Obviously, they need to play well. This is a game Tennessee's done 2 things with this game. One, they have been begging for a night game all season long. They requested the SEC that this be a night game if any way possible. This be their night game. They've gotten that, and they built this game built recruiting around this game. This is the game that they've kind of earmarked for a lot of recruiting stuff. They've had other weekends where they've had good players. Georgia, they had a lot of good players in. But this one's different this week with the volume of players and the quality of players that are coming in.
I look at the list. Lord, it is a long list of guys, man. Lucas got an opportunity last night to see Joel Wyatt, too. He called the game, by the way.
Friday Night Rivals call of Oakland Riverdale. I mean, just the vertical alone, Brent. Talk about a physical athletic profile. Joel Wyatt, impressive. So he'll be on campus tomorrow.
Yep, he will, and he is impressive. I mean, just you look at that frame, you look at his body, you look at the way he plays, and you go, yeah, okay, that's an SEC player. I mean, that one's, I mean, I'm not a talent evaluator, but that one's like, yeah, okay. Next.
We talked about that earlier.
Who else do you need me to look at? Because I know what that one does. Okay, next, that's Joel White. And that's what you're looking for if you're going to recruit at the level you need to recruit at to try to be a playoff team. You need a lot more. You need to land a lot more guys where you go, yeah, next one. Let me look at the next one, as opposed to, I need to see 3 or 4 more games to know. I'm not sure. I mean, you want a bunch of laydowns that are obvious SEC players, and Joel White is obviously not just an SEC player, but he's an elite college football prospect.
It's funny. That's the exact same thing we said. When you see that type, you know that type. It's like, okay, he checks the box.
That was an easy eval. That one doesn't take. That's what they did with you, Ramon. They looked at you and went, "Oh yeah, next."
Yeah, they say they pay people for this.
Exactly. We'll get them together when you get on campus, but that doesn't just walk around for free right there anymore. Yeah, that's exactly how it goes.
That's exactly right.
Brent Hubbs of VolQuest with us. Brent, appreciate the time. Look forward to hearing you down on the field and Ramon up in the booth along with Mike Keith on the Vol Network call.
Thanks, Hubbs.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. See y'all.
Sir.
Brent Hubbs of VolQuest, brought to you by Ascend Federal Credit Union. Tennessee, Oklahoma, tomorrow night, a 6:30 kickoff. Oklahoma quarterback John Mateer, a different player since his thumb surgery a few weeks ago. We'll dive deeper into some of those numbers coming up next.
It's Ramon Foster for Jewel Roofing and Exteriors, man. They're here. They're from the city, man. They have been around for over 25 years. They're family owned and have been local for that long, man. They're proudly based there, as I told you, in Middle Tennessee. I love the idea of people being able to buy here, keep it here, and support the people that are around, man. They've been serving communities from Clarksville to Murfreesboro. Robbie Van Norman, he's the owner, man. He lives right in Hendersonville with his wife and daughter, man, and they are part of this. They're local, licensed, and experienced, and not just some out-of-town crew. Here's what I'll tell you, too, why you need to choose Jewel Roofing. They don't do the knock on doors or storm chasing. Instead, they want to build relationships, same as they have with me. They want to educate you on what's going on with your home. They evaluated my roof, sent me pictures of it, and showed me, hey, you're fine. This is what we fixed. This is what'll have to be fixed down the line, but don't worry now. You're good. Gave me just a sense of calm over me, the fact that they were that honest and not just try to have me file an insurance claim so that I can get a new roof and they get paid. That's how some companies do, but not Jewel Roofing Exteriors, man. They use some of the best products around and they want to make sure that you're secure inside of your home. So to learn more about Jewel Roofing, you can go to their website at jewelroofing.com. That's Jewel Roofing with 2 L's.com.
All right, Justin. Okay. Almost 2 hours down.
I'm going to be real.
Still
like
2
this.
to go. He's on pace here.
What you think?
Now, when 9:20 rolls around, what are you going to have then?
I'm not going to give away any of my secrets.
All right. Halloween playlist continues.
But he got to have something for Savage, though, at 9:20. That's your point, ain't it?
Yeah, you got to have something ready for Ron Slade coming
See you
in.
in studio?
Yeah.
I never know. I just never
He
even
finished
asked.
rehab. Now, that's the reason he wasn't in with us. He was going to rehab.
Sure.
So
Maybe we'll do a little collab.
All right, stay tuned for that.
Listen at him.
That's a tease. Glad to be with you on your drive in this morning. Lucas Panzica pinch hitting today alongside Ramon Foster, brought to you, of course, by Scooters Coffee. So great catching up with Brent Hubbs of VolQuest as always. John Mateer, Oklahoma quarterback, was the front runner for the Heisman Trophy the first month of the season, Moan, before going down with that hand injury. He has thumb surgery, comes back for the Red River shootout, and just hasn't been himself. Pre-thumb surgery, John Mateer, the Washington State transfer, 4 games against Illinois State, Michigan, Temple, Auburn, completing 67% of his passes, averaging over 303 yards per game passing, 6 total touchdowns, 3 interceptions, or 6 passing touchdowns, I should say, averaging over 47 rush yards per game with 5 rushing touchdowns in the first 4 games of the season. He goes down for hand surgery, comes back to play Texas, South Carolina, and Ole Miss. In those 3 games post-thumb surgery, his completion percentage down 9 percentage points to 58%. He's averaging 191.7 pass yards per game. That's down over 100 yards. He has 2 passing touchdowns. That's down by 4. No interceptions, but averaging just 12 rush yards per game, no touchdowns. His dual threat ability has been minimized since the thumb injury. And what you've seen from John Mateer in the last few games, how different does it look, and how much do you think it is affecting him? And he said this week, no, the thumb's got nothing to do with it.
The last couple of weeks, though, to add more, just a little context to it, Satania has been making plays for him as far as that. But the other side is, too, those 3 teams you mentioned, Texas, South Carolina, Ole Miss, got very good defenses, too. And they meant a lot, the rivalry games, et cetera, et cetera. But again, I look at him and say, I do think he came back too soon. I'm a guy that's got a plate and 4 pins in my right thumb, too. I understand what that surgery is, if it's similar to what mine was. And I've known guys, my old quarterback, Eric Ainge, to have a finger issue, too. And that pain doesn't leave, especially when you touch the football the way you do every single play. And the fact that, look, you can tap it on top of somebody's shoulder and it ruins your entire day. I'm not talking about a game.
It's throwing hand,
It's throwing hand, too. And that's what's super unique about it. I also look at this, too. Teams have found a way to kind of bottle him in a little bit better with the reset that they've had after he sat down for a little while, and they're keeping him in the box and making him make decisions and throw the football away. His ability to be a playmaker, again, this is his introduction to the SEC. This is his first time around the sun doing this job. The adjustment happened during his bye week. Okay, he's coming back. Now give us something to look forward to. And that's essentially what happened. The Auburn game in general, I don't know how that happened for him as far as like his ability to win. But again, I look at Texas and I look at South Carolina specifically. The thing that Oklahoma had going for itself is their defense absolutely stuck South Carolina in the face. Right? That's what I noticed. And John Mateer didn't really have to do much in that game. That defense has risen up a little bit more. And Hubbs mentioned a little bit too. The running game has been a major part of that one too. So I think it was Austin Price we had on Tuesday. What's the deal with John Mateer? It seems like John Mateer, the first 4 weeks of the season was, hey, you guys watch me and the work I'm going to go do. And now he's relying more on his defense, and his running game the last couple of games is the response I've kind of seen for this. But here's what I do know. Guys like him, the same way I've played for big-time quarterbacks or played with them, when the lights are on and they're going against somebody they feel like is a peer of theirs, he's going to try to show out in Neyland. I got a feeling he's going to try to get back on track. And with that, our secondary's got to pick the ball off or create breakups, and you got to get him on the ground. He's going to try to show out Saturday night. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's just his style.
Like Hubbs pointed out, this is the first true road challenge for Oklahoma this season. They traveled to South Carolina. That was an early game. South Carolina team that kind of got eliminated from any meaningful contention early. Red River rivalry, neutral site in Dallas at the State Fair. And here they come. into Neyland Stadium under the lights. You can hear Ramon Foster and Mike Keith on the call. Vol Network coverage tomorrow night right here on The Zone. Kickoff is set for 6:30 Central Time as Tennessee and Oklahoma basically play an elimination game tomorrow night. That's where we are in the college football season. 615-737-1045 is how you jump in. We're also on 1045 The Zone TV, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. Hop in on the F&M Bank chat where a lot of you are already hanging out on this Friday Halloween morning on 1045 The Zone. So, speaking of elimination games for the college football playoff, let's take a look around the CFB and what games have CFP implications on the line, plus the rooting guide for both Tennessee and Vanderbilt fans for this upcoming Saturday. Next, Hour 3 on 1045 The Zone.
8:01, good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Justin Hawkins. Week 9 of the NFL season kicked off last night with the Baltimore Ravens dominating the Dolphins 28-6 from start to finish. Lamar Jackson, with his first game back since week 4 of the season, threw for 204 yards and 4 touchdowns. Meanwhile, Derrick Henry rushed for 119 yards, and the Ravens improved to 3-5 on the season. Thursday, injury report for the Titans. Jeffrey Simmons, Calvin Ridley, Arden Key, Xavier Woods, and Chicken Conquo all did not practice yesterday. The Titans will try to earn their first win of the season at Nissan Stadium this Sunday as they host Justin Herbert and the Los Angeles Chargers. Lee Company countdown to kick off. Get you started at 9 o'clock before Titans countdown begins at 11. Then it's Taylor Zarzer and Coach Dave McGinnis on the call for Titans Radio for Titans and Chargers with kickoff at noon. College football slate this weekend. Number 14, Tennessee hosts number 18, Oklahoma at 6:30 for dark mode at Neyland Stadium. Mike Keith, Rowan Foster on the call for Vault Network with coverage starting at 4 o'clock on The Zone. And number 9, Vanderbilt, they travel to Austin in a battle with number 20, Texas at 11 a.m. on ABC. Tonight, Game 6 of the World Series in Toronto as the Blue Jays hold a 3-2 series lead. The Blue Jays can win it all tonight with a win over the Dodgers. Tomorrow, Nashville Soccer Club hosts Lionel Messi and Inter Miami CF at Geodis Park for Game 2 of the first round, where the boys in gold need a win to force Game 3 and stay alive in the MLS Cup playoffs. First kick is at 6:30, and you can hear the call on Super Talk 99.7 WTN with coverage starting at 6 p.m. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Big weekend upcoming. College football heads into November. Playoff rankings right around the corner. Another NFL slate. Titans back home. Welcome back in. Ramon and Will, brewed by Scooters Coffee from the 104.5 The Zone Circa Sports Studios. Kentucky's largest sports book can now be found at Circa Sports at Kentucky Downs. Lucas Panzica pinch hitting today alongside the 11-year NFL vet and Vault Network analyst Ramon Foster. Happy to be here. Justin Hawkins making it happen. 615-737-1045 is how you join the discussion. Also on 104.5 The Zone TV, the F&M Bank chat. Titanomics says, let's go NSC. Big weekend for Nashville SC tomorrow night. Playoff, do or die against Lionel Messi's Inter Miami at Geodis Park. 6:30 kick. We'll have the call on 99.7 WTN. So excited for that one. All right, what can we learn in this college football weekend with elimination games left and right, including in Knoxville, Tennessee versus Oklahoma? A weekend, Moan, that was supposed to be this juggernaut of a slate, right? Ohio State, Penn State. Think about what that game meant before the season kicked off. Ole Miss, South Carolina, preseason top 15 matchup. Georgia, Florida, world's largest outdoor cocktail party, preseason top 15 matchup. And here we are in week 10, where the two biggest games of the slate are Vanderbilt at Texas and Oklahoma at Tennessee.
Georgia, Florida turned into a dud. Only one I'm side-eyeing just because they're sneaky every single year, it seems like, is this Miami SMU. SMU finds a way to compete or make it closer than it should be, and it's in Dallas this time for them also. So I'm very interested to see if Miami, to your point, and Carson Beck can really get over the hump when it comes down to chasing their own dreams. They have it in their hands, but it's not in their control. And SMU can play a huge part in that one too, but the bigger one not involving the Vols, to your point, is the unlikeliest one. Vanderbilt, Texas. And I don't know how to judge it. I hadn't gotten the updates yet on Arch. Do you know? I think he was on the practice field Wednesday.
Questionable in concussion protocol.
Now, this is also the new process of how concussion protocol works, too. You don't just get cleared and you go play. There is the work in moment, because my last one, I ended up having, you got to go through exercises. You got to control your eyes. You got to jump up and down. Make sure that, hey, your body comes back to zero. Your eyes come back to zero. So I'm sure Arch is still in the protocol to that point. He'll probably end up getting cleared today if he is going to play, but there's a longer process now into getting out of concussion protocol. But here's the thing, the way I see this one. The one thing that Texas has that can play into its part is the defense and the amount of potential first and second and third round draft picks they have on it. If they have the athletes on the back end of this defense to control Junior Sherrill and also Stowers, I feel like they got an opportunity because their front seven is good. They got 2 linebackers that will end up playing in the NFL, and their front line is as strong as you can get. The issue is since they're not a traditional SEC school yet, Texas, they shouldn't be playing with the fear of losing to Vanderbilt. I think that's what Vandy has run into as of late with the teams that they've played. Now, I look at the game in itself, and I'm all for the numbers and the up and downs of, hey, this stat says they do this and all. But the game does come down to how can I control myself and be comfortable in very uncomfortable situations. And that's why I feel like teams have failed with Vanderbilt. And I also say this, I think Vanderbilt failed to do that against Alabama. I thought going into that game, the Diego Pavia taking the knee, the Johnny Manziel on the sideline side of it, I felt Vanderbilt was pressed to beat Alabama more than the actual game itself. And it caused Diego Pavia to get outside of himself and create turnovers in moments where he shouldn't have been running the football. Why were you running the football when your running backs and your offensive line were controlling the line of scrimmage against Alabama and honestly had that crowd shut the heck up? That's the issue. So I look at Texas' situation with what Arch has going on and say, at some point, I'd expect that offensive line to get busy. If Arch doesn't have to win that game, I also see this being tight, and the advantage usually goes to the home team, and that's Texas. If they don't, to that point, get nervous about losing to Vanderbilt. Nick Saban said it himself on College Game Day last week, or was it 2 weeks ago now? It's like Vanderbilt just got to continue to prove to us. He basically said he didn't believe it yet. Well, I'm here to tell you, believe it and just take them as a good team. That's how you got to play Vanderbilt moving forward. The coaches can't get tight. Imagine what a Vanderbilt loss did for you 3 years ago on your resume, right? You get fired for that. That's not the same case. Respect them as a good football team and play the game. That's the way you got to approach this. You hear it all the time. Man, coach was tight this week. Why? It's a good team. Why are you tight? Go through your game plan and play exactly as you should, or Vandy they'll do what they do to every other team that they beat. They bring you into the mud, Lucas, and make you mess up your real good school shoes, and then you got to go home and get a butt whooping. The butt whooping is coming from the fans because you shouldn't have lost to them. That's the mindset. I know it's not the schematics that you want to hear, but that's Vanderbilt to me right now. Respect them as a good team and play the game plan. Don't get emotional about trying to get a big booming hit on Diego Pavia. It makes no sense. You're playing exactly what he wants you to do. He's like the Joker on The Dark Knight. This is the life that he lives. He thrives in the darkness. Why are you trying to play in the darkness with him?
You're 100% right. I think Pavia's gotten into the heads of a lot of opponents this year and last year.
So many.
Now, can Vanderbilt, to your point, avoid that getting into their heads too, in a way, right? I was talking to a friend of mine that played for Vanderbilt under Derek Mason.
Okay.
His biggest fear for Vanderbilt football this season is that they get a little too caught up in the Pavia thing and suddenly start putting the game in his hands on the line. And it's not that Diego Pavia can't do that. Of course, we've seen him throw through hits, convert third downs, lead them to wins over Alabama. We've seen all of that. But who Vanderbilt is a hard-nosed football team. Something that Vanderbilt's never been, a team that can physically match up with anybody they're playing in the SEC. Alabama was such a good example of it. Pavia is a spark plug. He is without question one of the biggest reasons why Vanderbilt is where they are. Certainly the biggest reason why everybody's talking about Vanderbilt. And there's so much value to that in an entertainment industry. But Vanderbilt had that lead in Alabama because of the run game, what they were doing with Cedric Alexander. Bama couldn't stop it. Pavia's 2 red zone turnovers are what lost them that game. So if Vanderbilt just keeps the blinders on in that regard. Yeah. And if Pavia can just be a complementary force on offense rather than the driving force, which sounds crazy to say about the guy that is the face of this program and the Heisman contender and all of these things. But I kind of think that's where this is, Mo, and I think Vanderbilt can win by going down there and playing physical football against the Texas team that was preseason number 1. And here's the thing, too. If we're going to talk about rooting guides, I love this time of year because you start to map out, right? Okay, who do we need to lose? Who puts us in the best position? If you're a Tennessee fan, obviously you have to beat Oklahoma or it's a moot point. But if the Vols can take care of business against Oklahoma and remain with just the 2 losses, you're rooting for Vanderbilt Saturday.
You are.
Texas is a 2-loss team. You want as few 2-loss SEC teams as possible still alive, contending for the playoff at the end of the year. A third loss eliminates Texas and elevates Vanderbilt because you're going to have to beat the Commodores at home no matter what if you want a shot to get into this thing. So 2 birds with 1 stone, takes Texas out of the picture and moves Vanderbilt up, keeps them with 1 loss, and just inflates that potential win on your resume.
It does. You're right. They do have to fight against that. This is new, and I don't think Clark Lee can say he planned it to be this way. I don't think their fan base can say they imagined it going this well for them this year, too. I will say there was a few, namely one of the boys I coach on my team, Vanderbilt's making the playoffs. I looked at him like, bro, you should go to sleep at night, okay? You should go get some rest. But, like, there was some that believed in it because they're fans of Vanderbilt. But to see it be this good, to see that stadium be this packed out and have fans that are traveling more. Hearing Jimmy Wyatt speak about, going to the stadium, and it may have been 8,000 people inside of it, and now he's got people he know wouldn't show up last year. That's exciting. But the player side of this, the good thing that they have is a lot of pride in it. They don't have familiarity of Vanderbilt being that bad also. It's like you got rid of the stench. I think that's what this Titans fan base, to go to the pro side of it, is wanting for their team too, is to get rid of the stench of not being able to get 4 quarters or finish it or develop your draft picks. Now, back to Vanderbilt. That's why I think it's very advantageous for them, to your point. Go play the game. That's the reason yesterday, respectfully, I think one of the guys are in our chat right now as I say this. That's why, in my opinion, I'm a Haynes King fan, okay? That's why I was making the argument for him that Haynes King probably deserves the same amount, if not more, Heisman hype than what Diego Pavia is doing, because this year, respectfully, and you said it a second ago without me even having to tee it up, he's not been the show. He's the center part of the show. Diego Pavia is, but Stowers and Junior Sherrill and that offensive line and his running game and that defense has gotten way better to where he doesn't have to do everything. And you brought that up also, like the way they win this game against the Texas Longhorns in Austin is maybe not relying on Diego Pavia. Give it to somebody. Why did you go spend all this money in the NIL and transfer portal if you just going to rely on him? And that's how Vanderbilt, in my opinion, wins that football game. That defense is going to be tight. Texas is. I just don't know what version of Arch you're going to go get. But here's what Vanderbilt does. They make you make decisions quick with the football. And if those wide receivers that Texas have who are supposed to be all world can't get open, Arch can't see it, or his offensive line can't protect it, it's going to be a long day in Austin. All Diego Pavia's exes will live in Texas after he's done with this game.
What about his mother's exes? Theo Vaughn, I don't know what the situation is over there.
Listen, if his mama's smart, she jumping on the PJ with Theo Vaughn. Do you hear me?
They're my ride.
These streamers make money, baby. Yeah, he was my ride.
615-737.
Double entendre right there. Theo said it, not me.
Not you. Wasn't you.
You need to leave.
Goodness. Pete Thamel of ESPN, by the way, we have to get this in because I can't get enough of hearing Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry speak. Like I could listen to it all day. He's going to have a podcast in T-minus 2 weeks, Moan. And I'm going to be right there as long as he's talking LSU football. So Pete Thamel reports that LSU and athletic director Scott Woodward are expected to separate in the near future. It comes in the wake of Governor Jeff Landry's criticism of Woodward and declaring that he would not be the one making the hire in the football coaching search. You've heard that audio by now, right? Jeff Landry saying Donald Trump's going to make this hire before Scott Woodward does. Well, let's hear some more from Jeff Landry, shall we? This is Jeff Landry on 104.5 ESPN in Baton Rouge, talking about the state of LSU football. Listen closely.
The chance of them getting to the bowl championship series at this point is pretty low. It'd be great if they did. But think about it. If we would not have lost a game, or maybe lost one game right now in the SEC, we wouldn't be talking about that because Sherry wouldn't be having a problem.
A chance of getting to the bowl championship series at this point is pretty null. Jeff Landry doesn't feel good about LSU's shot to get to the BCS national championship game that hasn't been played in over a decade. So this is the state of LSU football right now, and I can't get enough of it.
I can't either. Lucas, as I was reading this, too, from Pete Thamel, Pete Thamel's headline on this tweet says, Woodward out as LSU's athletic director amid Landry's criticism and the spectacle continues in Baton Rouge. You know what I'm thinking, Lucas? One of us. One of us. Everybody that laughed at the Vols and how toxic we are and how crazy of a fan base we have, welcome. Welcome to the other side. I have a number for them to call, Lucas. Do you want to know what that number is? 1-800-CALL-A-VOL. We've been through this. I know I'm off one number on that one, though. But what I'm telling you is this. We have lived this life. Auburn's about to go through it again. Arkansas's dealing with it. I mean, look at LSU. I mean, think about all the programs that laughed at us for being too intrusive. Lucas. One of us. One of us.
This is what I think of before we go to break of when Jeff Landry speaks.
This is ridiculous.
Yes,
I hate this team.
That's what I think of every time.
We got a governor fully involved, Lucas.
This is ridiculous.
This is ridiculous.
Cannot get enough of it, man. I can't. ESPN has a breakdown, a preview of the trade deadline and how it could concern the Tennessee Titans. We'll tell you what Dan Graziano and company had to say coming up next on 104.5 The Zone.
This is ridiculous.
It's Ramon Foster for Medical House Calls. It's getting cold outside. You know how it is when all of us are indoors. Some of us get sick, man, and that's where Medical House Calls can assist you. They're available to you 7 days a week. Yes, that's Monday through Sunday, but the hours are 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Same-day appointments are available to you, and it's next day guaranteed. I'll make it even easier for you. Their number is 615-838-2375, and you can call or text them. Here's the thing they want to do. They want to bring back the concierge to medicine to where you don't have to guess when you can get an appointment. You can make your own appointment on the day that you want to. You don't have to take the kids out of school or bring the kids with you after work. You don't have to leave work. They will come to your house to service you. And I absolutely mean that. Everything from at-home urgent care, they do mobile IV therapy, and they can also be your primary care physician. They get this. Your time is precious, and your health is priceless also. At Medical House Calls, they offer to you a primary care personalized specifically for you and is best for you. Again, on your time, whenever you want. MedicalHouseCalls.com is the website, but make sure you tell them that Ramon sent you. We are really lucky to have Genesis Diamonds here. In a sea of corporate jewelers, Genesis is such a refreshing alternative. And the local and ownership appreciates that. And Genesis always stay ahead of the pack, too, with the bigger selection, new and trending styles. More pricing flexibility, stronger warranties, and higher quality standards. And as we head into the holiday season, Genesis is fully stocked. Case after case of dazzling jewelry. They have rings, earrings, bands, bracelets, colored gemstone jewelry, luxury pre-owned Rolex watches, all at a guaranteed best value price. And here's the thing, no commission salespeople, no pressure ever at Genesis. And if you're thinking about a holiday engagement, now is the time to get into Genesis and let the experts help you create the ring of her dreams. They've got it all. The top ring designers that you want. They've got diamonds in every shape and every size, natural and lab grown. Genesis has everything. Guaranteed the best value while never sacrificing on good old-fashioned customer service. You will never be treated like a number at Genesis. Genesis Diamonds, my jeweler. They're located in Green Hills and Cool Springs.
All right, so you got Thriller out of the way. That's good. Justin's not on camera for you guys to see him doing an awful rendition of this dance on the other side of the glass. And we'll see what else he's got in his playlist of Halloween songs. Pretty much hit all the notable ones.
He has.
So this is going to be a challenge for you.
No.
615-737-1045 is how you jump in.
Hold up. I just want to add something real quick, too. So I gave out the number to Batter-Vol syndrome, 1-800-CALL-A-VOL or whatever. And what's funny is Vanderbilt fans were like, yeah, 1-800-BVS-VOLS. And I'm just like, wait, hold up. Y'all had y'all whole call, y'all had a whole call center for decades, Vandy Chris. Don't do this, okay?
Would theirs be 1-800-BVS doors, battered Vandy syndrome doors?
Exactly.
There you go.
Yeah.
They've been through it long before.
Y'all, come on now. You green, you in. We'll start these jokes. And we got microphones, Lucas, to talk trash for a very long time.
It would be door. I think you got to take the S off.
Yeah, you got to take the door off. Yeah, you got to take the S off.
Math was never my strong point.
I hear you. I hear that. All right.
Spelling.
NFL trade deadline coming up on Tuesday. ESPN just breaking down the latest buzz on a few NFL teams, including the Tennessee Titans. Here's what ESPN had to say about the Titans. Sitting there at 1-7, they project the Titans to have the number 1 overall draft pick in the 2026 NFL draft. There's a few categories here. Number 1 is adding, subtracting, or sitting out. Unsurprisingly, Dan Graziano says they'll look to subtract. Okay, we knew that. And outside of rookie quarterback Cam Ward, and he says maybe star defensive tackle Jeffrey Simmons, pretty much anyone they have should be available. They need as many picks as they can to build around Ward for the future. That is Dan Graziano. Teron Davenport adds in the who could be on the move category, Draymond Jones. First name that TD brings up. He says he's got a sack in 3 consecutive games and would be a solid boost for any team looking to give its pass rush a jolt. After signing Jones to a 1-year deal in March, trading him would allow Tennessee to move an expiring contract to acquire draft capital. Arden Key is another option for the Titans to move, but he is nursing a quad injury that caused him to sit out the past 2 games. Arden Key, for what it's worth, has not practiced this week. We'll see what happens today. Could very well be a 3rd straight game. So, maybe star defensive tackle Jeffrey Simmons, according to Dan Graziano, would be one of the 2 that are non-negotiables. But we've seen at every turn reports about Jeffrey Simmons not on the table. Titans have no interest in moving him. I don't know. I saw the maybe layered in there. And I said, okay, all right, just something to look at. It's probably not going to happen, Moan, but what is the argument? We'll start with for trading Jeffrey Simmons on Tuesday as we look down the road at what clearly is going to be a long road of a rebuild as the Titans have continued to trade away parts and pieces, especially at cornerback.
You know this has been my stance for a little while anyway. I've gotten pushback from the fans. You don't trade the one asset that we have to look forward to. Why would you trade him away? Cam needs help. No, Moan, that's just dumb. This has been my stance. Either, and this is the other part, and I'm okay with this, either you pay him a crap ton of money, meaning Jeffrey Simmons goes about 35, close to 40 million a year, which is where this team is so many low salaries, you can't afford to do that. But it doesn't equate to more wins immediately. You have an example, go north, 65 north, and you'll see it in Cleveland. You got a generational guy, Myles Garrett, that's a game record, that's doing everything he's supposed to do, and you still are under 500 historically. Even this year, you got a 2 times Coach of the Year in Stefanski, and you got nothing still. Like, if you're going to rebuild the entire thing over, like, we're talking about quality picks and the idea that you get something for Jeff with the team not full of much, right? Now, if they're trending towards the number 1 overall pick, that kind of changes the conversation a little bit, Lucas. I will agree with you because the Titans don't have a need for a quarterback. Some teams going to need it. It's the Saints will need a quarterback. Now, it depends on where other teams fall in that slate. I think the Patriots somewhat interrupted what last year's draft was because they were still picking in the top 4, so the Browns had somebody to negotiate against. I'm of the mindset of players don't want to waste away. This is my player side talking. If I'm Jeff in his camp and he's hired new representation this year, he's probably wanting out. He'll never say it out loud. I think if I'm Jeffrey Simmons and I'm his camp on the player side of this conversation, get me out. And if you're the front office, get as much as you possibly can for Jeffrey Simmons. If you're going to get the number 1 overall pick, trade that back. You also couple that with a second and a third with Jeff too. If you're really going to strip it down and rebuild it from the floor up, this is where I'd say I'm on that board, Lucas. At this point, they're not tricking anybody anyway. The T word that nobody wants to use, a tank, is happening. It is. I don't know if it was on purpose, but it's here right in front of our faces. You're trading away starters, young guys, starters. I know Roger McCarroll, we're not going to get anything back from him. Well, hell, get the rest of the contract out of him, right? You can do that part of it, but why are you making these moves as a front office? Because Denard doesn't want this. Why are you making these moves as a front office if a tank isn't in motion right now? I have said it, and I'll push on it again. I think the best pathway is to get as much capital as you can if you're going to really redo this thing over. And Jeffrey Simmons is a part of it. Or I'm a disgruntled friggin' football player inside of that building, and y'all going to have to pay me as a D tackle close to $40 million a year.
615-737-1045 is how you jump in. Roger says, let Jeff go play for a winner. So that there is a balance here, right? Because long-term rebuild, we know this. The Titans have, again, right, the needs outweigh the ammo that you have to fill those needs for another offseason. The Titans walked that line of kind of trying to rebuild on the fly, so to speak, in 2023, and then spent all that money in free agency trying to compete quickly in 2024. That doesn't work. So here in 2025, even though it's been multiple straight losing seasons, here in 2025 is the first time that there's been this acknowledgement of, okay, down to the foundation. Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
So it feels like this rebuild has been happening for the last 3 years, which is why you completely understand Titans fans not having the patience for it.
Exhausted.
But in reality, this is the first time that they are going at it with that kind of mindset. So how do you strike that balance of seeing that Jeff is your most valuable asset and it's not close? And when you consider how long it could take to get back to being meaningfully competitive, that could very well be by the time Jeff is 30, 31? Yeah, 32.
I would say 32. Lucas.
He's 28 right now.
Yes.
In the prime of his career. So how do you balance the pros and cons of what you can get back for Jeff to help give you more ammo in the near future versus having at least one foundational piece to build around, even from a cultural standpoint, for the next couple of years?
You know what's messed up about, I guess, this process, too, is the one item that you have that you just got in Cam Ward doesn't look like it right now. I'm saying that because he's a rookie. If he'd have came out with a good bit of a spark that made you believe that, hey, yeah, we can build around him. That's the biggest issue you have. The quarterback is the most important piece, and you feel like you have it, but you hadn't seen a moment from Cam yet. I said this, and there's no offense to him or to disparage Will Levis also, but Lucas, in watching this team over the duration of a game, where has Cam Ward had a Will Levis moment like he did against the Falcons? He hasn't had that one yet. And that's why it seems so bleak into who you're going to build around. Nobody really builds around a D tackle like that. I know Fletcher Cox stayed down with Philly for a while, but they also had other parts of that too, and they were above board as far as being competitive. Nobody does this from an interior defensive lineman, which is why I'm saying, like, and others have said, well, it's going to be hard to find another one. Well, if you believe, like you said you do, in Borgonzi and how he drafts people, well, that narrative's potentially changing. And that's where, to me, is if it's not a bright future for Jeff here, and where are you going to spend money in free agency, right? Is that part of it too? I'm like, go ahead and rid yourself of it. Like, completely be a part of the way it was for Detroit. You get more draft picks, higher draft picks if they want to be drafted in the top 100. Philly will do a deal with them right now, I bet. I guarantee they absolutely would. Dallas possibly would because they've already been linked to him. Like, these are contending type of teams that could use a body like him. And if the value is good enough and you know that you don't want to pay him $35 million a year, just go ahead and do it. I'm with it. How effectiveness can he be to winning football games other than, we just want to sell tickets? That's the other question I have about it, which is why I'm making this point. This isn't like your star quarterback or wide receiver. This is an interior guy who can get double teamed and be taken out of a game. So let me go get 3-4 more of those guys to build up a team, to build up the talent pool. Because when you look at this roster, and they're all the top 1% in their profession, but they're probably like the bottom part of that 1% when you look at the totality of this team. Who do you see if you were doing a scout meeting with your head coach on a Wednesday morning, Lucas, that you said, you're going to have a long day with him? How many do you see on this roster that you say that about?
One.
So he'll give me 5 more of them or 5 more of those types. We're watching right now the 49ers do it with their young defensive line. They went defense. So much so that now that Robert Saleh's a potential head coach again with a bunch of young guys and rookies on that team. They got rid of a lot of guys. Javon Hargrave's gone this year, right? They got rid of a lot of guys, and here you have it. You say, it's going to be hard to replace Jeff. It's hard to replace anybody in this league, but you got to that's what they told us, keep going up to the plate, swinging. You can't do that with a bunch of 6- and 7-round draft picks in the draft. That's my mindset. And why waste away his career at this point other than we have your contract? All right, but what has it gotten you? More exhausted fans and more losses. Build it up if you're really going to do this thing.
615-737-1045. So that's where you are.
That's where I am.
But how surprised would you be if the organization did actually move Jeffrey Simmons? And to be fair, there's been no noise on it whatsoever. At most every turn, it's been everybody on the table except Cam and Jeff. But Dan Graziano says except Cam and maybe Jeff. So we're probably reading too much into that one word, that one qualifier. But how surprised would you be if we got breaking news on Monday morning that the Titans are trading Jeffrey Simmons?
I wouldn't be overly surprised. I think the fan base reaction would be over the top. But when you look at the business of it, I don't think that causes for you to be surprised. It just doesn't. It's the prettiest girl and the ugly girl contest. It's essentially what you got going on right now. I would not be Lucas. And I look at this too, and I tell everybody this. It's a beautiful game with an ugly business behind it. That's what the NFL is. It's the ugliness behind how you put this broadcast on in front of everybody's faces is the beauty of the NFL at this point. What are you holding on to? I guess is where I'm at, Lucas. You're a fan of this team. You've covered this team. You've watched this team go up and down. They did the same thing with Hainsworth. Steve McNair got let go. Eddie did also. CJ2K finished his career in another location. I'm just at that point to watching this, and I know the fan base is tired of it. And here I am as an outsider speaking about this team, and I've seen how organizations are ran when it comes down to that. You either need to have a great support system around guys like this to keep them motivated, or you rid yourself of them. But at some point, Lucas, the baseline has to be poured. Jeff's a good pillar in the organization, but if it's just him fighting City Hall and you don't know what you're going to get from Tavondre, or if you don't know what you're going to get from your edge rushers, how committed everybody else is to the cause, just strip it down and make it your guys. That's what the trend's been anyway. I wouldn't be surprised at all because I understand how players think, and I can understand how Jeffrey would be in this situation.
To your point, another one of those players not finishing their career here, Derrick Henry, right, who finished out the 2023 season as a Titan. We know he almost got traded. He told us the Bussin' with the Boys interview. Yeah. He pretty much thought he was headed out. Wouldn't say with who. Can reasonably discern it probably would have been Baltimore, the team he ended up with anyway, and rushed for 100 yards for last night. But when you look back on that, it's like, okay, how valuable was that back half of the 2023 season versus, I don't know, a fourth that you could have gotten for Derrick Henry? How valuable would the next 1 to 2 seasons of peak Jeffrey Simmons be versus what you could potentially get for him now in what we know is a complete and total overhaul? That is a question that I think has been dismissed by a lot of people, right? Because I get the logic of, okay, great, you trade Jeffrey Simmons and you use that pick to go try to find another Jeffrey Simmons. But I like the way you framed it, where you're game planning for one guy right now when you're getting ready to play this Titans defense. Okay, game planning for one, Jeffrey Simmons, or putting yourself in a position where people have to game plan for 4 or 5 players that may not be to the level that Jeff is at this moment in 2025, although he's sidelined right now with the hamstring. But balancing those things, I don't think it's as simple as, well, you trade Jeff, you just got to go get another Jeff. You need a lot of things.
You need a lot of things. And that's kind of just where I sit. Like, the way I think Detroit was built up is they accumulated a lot of talent now. They went and got a franchise quarterback, but you already have yours too. You look at the teams that always are in it, right? You look at Philly. They're always in it because they got players. I mean, you were looking at the New England Patriots right now. They got guys. You ask yourself how these teams are able to sustain this level of, just being competitive. It's because the floor is set. The culture's laid down. You just remove one player, insert another. That's what you want for your franchise. Like I said, you want to constantly be knocking at the door. You don't know when that Super Bowl door is going to open, but that's how you have to do it. We're watching the team. I know Patrick's an anomaly as far as his talent goes, but like you look at Patrick Mahomes' situation, they've lost Tyreek Hill. They've been without certain players. Defensively, they had to make changes and shift the way their philosophy is as a whole by, laying on the defense a little bit more. But again, their base is set. And when you have that, it's easy for you to say, yeah, we'll pull this player and everybody else around him will make him better. Instead of just saying, we got Jeff or we got Cam. Yeah, you do. But what does the support cast look like around him? It's bad. So it makes good players look bad also. There are a lot of teams that got okay below the line players, but they're supported by such a great support system that you don't even notice them. Like you're looking at New England right now, they got 2 rookies on the left side of the offensive line. But because the talent around them is so immense, you don't even realize how much a deficiency that is, where they get sacked a couple times against the Titans, and Drake May is just like, yeah, whatever, I got playmakers down the field. Watch this bomb. One of the Titans this year had that moment.
615-737-1045, trade deadline coming up in a matter of days. Speaking of, an interesting nugget in here as well from Jeremy Fowler about another AFC South team and a certain star that they could look to add to try and supplement what has already been an impressive 2025. We'll get into that. Take your phone calls coming up next on 1045 The Zone.
It's Ramon Foster for Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Nobody wants to deal with any of those issues right there, the plumbing, the HVAC, or an electrical emergency at all. Most of the time, you don't know what it will cost you if it get fixed right, or if somebody's trying to sell you something you do not need. But when you call Hiller or reach out to them, their experts are going to solve your problems quickly, as quick as they possibly can. And the price you're told is the price that you'll actually pay. There are no hidden fees or surprises on your bill when you also cash out with them. No, they itemize every single part of it. They'll bring the tablet in, as I told you before, and tell you exactly what you pay for, the service cost of it, and here's what's included in it, plus all your warranties and everything else also. They've been in business for over 35 years. They're family owned and operated also. And their techs, man, I've dealt with numerous ones of them. They're very professional, experienced, and trustworthy. And they're all background and drug screened too. And when they're on the way, you'll receive a photo of the tech and a link to track them in real time, so you're not sitting around wasting time. The motto is happy you'll be or the service is free. And they absolutely mean that. If there's something going on that you don't like, they'll give you your money back or do whatever they can to fix it. If you want to be like I do and book with a company that you can trust, simply visit happyhiller.com. Hey. Now, that's the dude I'll be seeing in my sleep.
Remind me of the Kodak Black song that uses this beat. It's slipping my mind, but that song, huge hit when it came out. And I felt like the Ghetto Boys were not getting enough respect for the beat of this song being used in that Kodak song.
Shout out to RJ who requested this song. This is fire.
All time.
It was, which song was it? It wasn't Transport. No, God.
That's going to bother me.
It's going to bother me, too. I know exactly.
That's like one of his biggest hits. So, we're getting spooky on a Friday. The Indianapolis Colts, 7-1. They got the best record in the NFL.
Transporting, I think.
Is that what it is?
I think so.
And ESPN came out with trade deadline preview breakdowns for a few NFL teams. We just told you what they said about the Titans. 615-737-1045 is how you jump in if you want to join the trade or not trade Jeffrey Simmons conversation. But about the Colts, Jeremy Fowler says the Colts will add with caution. There's a move for Chris Ballard to make if the Colts feel so inclined. They're depleted at corner, and they're on the radar with Trey Hendrickson.
See that.
He says Chris Ballard has a hot team that might be the proverbial one player away. Trey Hendrickson to Indianapolis?
It's the same conversation. It's just like you find yourself, Cincinnati found themselves trying to satisfy Trey Hendrickson, right? They gave him the deal that he was looking for after the long handout to see how valuable he could be to a team. But
they kind of gave him the deal.
Yeah, they kind of. Yeah, they kind of.
Here's a little bump for you.
I'll take a pacifier if this means I get an extra $13 million. But that situation is super unique to what I think Jeff's situation, why teams will call. Now, the Titans don't have to answer. They can say, shut the bleep up and move the heck on. This is our guy, and we're going to covet him. But when you do look at these types of opportunities with the capital that can come back to you, it means a lot. And here's the thing about it. If they are the Colts going after Trey Hendrickson, you got a team right now that is still in this window because they got a franchise quarterback in Joe Burrow. If that's the case for him, you mean to tell me you can get rid of an asset that's going to be expiring anyway, and you can get him another wide receiver or a better offensive lineman or a better running back, then you do that with that Trey Hendrickson pick. A lot of this, as I speak about the business of the NFL, is just that sometimes. How do you make yourself better and be a better manager and be a better franchise, not just for this year, but next year? I'm not sure if Joe Burrow's going to come back this year, right? But you need to be planning for that heck of a quarterback that everybody in the world thinks that you have in Joe Burrow. This is bigger. As I go to, this is bigger than Nino Brown. Like, it's legitimately this for them. Like, you got to plan for the success of the entire franchise. And if Trey Hendrickson at his age is being courted by a team that can use him and you get good capital back, Cincinnati's season's a wash.
Yeah.
Right? They got an opportunity. But this ain't a Super Bowl team this year. As players, we can be real about that. And evaluators. Heck, Borgans and Chad Brinker, when asked that question, we laughed at the beginning of it. That was a dumb question. It wasn't. Is this a Super Bowl roster? You see it. No, it's not. Be real with yourself, Cincinnati.
Trey Hendrickson, 30 years old. He'll turn 31 in early December. 4 sacks already on the season. Obviously, Lou Anarumo, former Bengals defensive coordinator, now the DC in Indianapolis. We were talking about this, Buck and I, earlier this week, which I understand he's got you sticking around for the 1020.
Mm-hmm.
See, he can't. He likes to pub it up. It's this big show. It's Buck Rising. He can't. I leave for one segment. He can't handle just being on his own. He needs you to prop him up. You'll do a better job of it than I do.
No, you're damn good.
But the Colts have the best record in the NFL. Are they the best team in the NFL?
Well, looking at what Kansas City's trying to do, that's the only thing, which is why I think it's smart for the Colts to go after defensive player. What did Tampa Bay do with him with Tom Brady besides having Tom Brady? They absolutely wrecked Patrick Mahomes on defense. If you see that door opening for your Super Bowl window, yes, you absolutely go get a guy. I think it's smart for them to go. Are they the best team on record right now, Lucas? To answer your question, yes. The boogeyman is waking up, though.
Yes, he is.
Boogeyman is waking up. Philly look like they might do a thing again, or you at least got a plan for it. Think about the quarterbacks, though. You got Josh Allen, Patty, Lamar is back, right? You got I mean, Tampa can get you too. Just looking at the entire Super Bowl landscape right now, you got to go get you a rusher if you are Indy. Leatu Latu's a second-year guy. At least the fear of Trey changes a team's game planning.
Yeah, just in such an unexpected window, the Colts are, right? Suddenly you're a Super Bowl contender.
You are.
So if I'm a Colts fan, I'm like, hell yeah, man. Take that swing. Let's go. Bleep them picks. Let's get Trey Hendrickson in here and see what happens. Chiefs, by the way, go to Buffalo Sunday. That's a late afternoon kick this coming weekend. Tate Matthews joins us each and every Friday at 9 a.m. to talk about the high school football weekend, regular season finale weekend in high school football. We'll talk to Tate coming up next on 104.5 The Zone.
Work. It's what we do. Part of who we are. There is joy in work. And no matter what size your business is, the dedicated commercial team at Two Rivers Ford will find the work trucks and vans that keep your business moving. And Two Rivers is the only dealer that offers a 90-day free fleet management program that can help you save money on every single mile. The Commercial Vehicle Center at Two Rivers Ford. We work for you. Work. It's what we do. Part of who we are. There is joy in work. And no matter what size your business is, the dedicated commercial team at Two Rivers Ford will find the work trucks and vans that keep your business moving. And Two Rivers is the only
9:01, good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Justin Hawkins. Happy Halloween. Thursday injury report for the Titans yesterday. Jeffrey Simmons, Calvin Ridley, Arden Key, Xavier Woods, and Chigakonkwa all did not practice. Mike McCoy will update the injury report later this afternoon. The Titans will try to earn their first win of the season at Nissan Stadium this Sunday as they host Justin Herbert and the LA Chargers. Lee Company countdown to kickoff gets you started on 104.5 The Zone at 9 o'clock. Then Titans countdown begins at 11, and then Taylor Zards or Coach Dave McGinnis on the call for Titans Radio for Titans and Chargers kickoff at noon. College football weekend slate: number 14 Tennessee hosts number 18 Oklahoma at 6:30 for dark mode at Neyland Stadium on Saturday night. Mike Keith and Ramon Foster have the call for Vol Network with coverage beginning at 4 o'clock on The Zone. And number 9 Vanderbilt, they travel to Austin in a battle with number 20 Texas at 11 a.m. on ABC. Tonight, Game 6 of the World Series in Toronto as the Blue Jays hold a 3-2 series lead over the LA Dodgers. The Blue Jays can win it all tonight with a win. Tomorrow night, Nashville Soccer Club hosts Lionel Messi and Inter Miami CF at Geodis Park for Game 2 of the first round of the MLS Cup playoffs. But the boys in gold need a win to force a Game 3 and stay alive. First kick at 6:30, and you can hear the game on Super Talk 99.7 WTN with coverage starting at 6 p.m. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Final hour on a Halloween football Friday. Glad to have you with us. Lucas Panzica stepping in alongside Ramon Foster, Justin Hawkins making it happen, and Tate Matthews joins us to talk high school football on the final weekend of the regular season. Tons of high school football action last night, Tate, and I got to be front row for a classic in the Battle of the Borough. Always seems to be when Oakland and Riverdale get together. We had the call on Friday Night Rivals. Talent all over the place. And Oakland, 14-point winners, but it was a lot closer than that score would suggest, right? Riverdale deserves a ton of credit for the way that offense especially pushed Oakland last night. And if folks don't know sophomore quarterback Gavin Hampton, they should get to know that name, the Riverdale Warrior, because he's going to continue to collect some big-time offers. Impressive player.
Yeah, he is. Good morning, fellas.
Good morning.
The crazy thing is he was at Ravenwood last year, so you'd have had Femi Babalola, Maverick Chance, and Gavin. So talk about some riches at quarterback. But yeah, man, that game's it's really been for a while there. Oakland really distanced it where it wasn't a good game for a few years there. But Coach Kreisky's got that thing back. They did pick him off a couple years ago in the regular season, but we talk about it every week with Ramon and Will, and I know you know it too, Lucas. Oakland they never beat themselves, man. You have to beat them. They do not beat themselves. And again, last night was another example of it, and love to see Justice Haggard last night. Everybody knows about Craig Tutt and Joel Wyatt, but he's another one. If whenever you're talking to Coach Creasy, Justice comes up very early on in the conversation. I believe he's got a Memphis Tigers offer, but somebody's going to get a really good one in him.
Tate, also, too, it's Halloween. It's high school kids. Do we expect something crazy tonight inside of these stadiums across the mid-state, man? It won't be crazy, will it, Tate?
I hope not, man. I heard, I did hear a story of one principal who the opposing team student section was going to roll them, and it did make it to their principal, and so there were threats of disciplinary action if it happened. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if something happens tonight, right? That was the only bad thing about last night, having so many of the games, now that so many of them have free time on Halloween. At least if they're playing tonight, they're busy, right?
Yeah, exactly. We can control you if I can see you. That's one
That's right.
we
That's
got
right.
to worry about. Speaking of that, man, I hope there's not anything going on tonight. Is Friendship and Nashville Christian. How do you see this matchup going in this regular season?
Man, this is an exciting game, and probably, if not the top one tonight, the top one. But the winner, what's neat about this is a region game. So the winner is the D2 1A Middle Region champ, which means a lot going into the playoffs. But I think there's a good chance we're going to see these two again. But until somebody beats Nashville Christian School, I don't know how they're not the favorite You look at their schedule. They beat Ensworth in overtime, as we know, 42-41, and then Tyner Academy, who East Tennessee. If you don't know anything about them, that 49-42 win there, they're really, really good. So, but outside of those two games, they're averaging 56 plus points per game. And that's with Jared Curtis missing 2 touchdowns. So until somebody slows him down and beats him, I don't think you can pick against him. TJ Ward, their running back, he only gets about 8-9 touches a game, and he's averaging over 120 yards rushing per game with that. 20 plus touchdowns on the year. He's right up there at the top of the scoring lead in the mid-state. So they've just got so many weapons. And then, again, probably the best guy in the state at quarterback, Jared Curtis. Of course, everything that happened last week with game day at Vanderbilt. So there's a little buzz going on with that as well. But, if anybody can do it, it's Friendship Christian School. Coach John McNeil, I think he's the longest tenured head coach in the mid-state, isn't he, Lucas? I think we did a little research.
I believe
on that
so,
earlier, didn't we? Yep. So, but they're going to run the ball. He spreads it out. He always has. He's usually got 2 running backs that are going to cause you problems, and he's got that again this year with Ryder Walcott, who's almost at 700 yards and over 10 touchdowns, and then Jaden McGowan, he's over 500 yards and 10 touchdowns. So the best way to do it is keep Nashville Christian School and Jared Curtis offense off the line, and that's something that off the field, that's something that Friendship Christian School does well.
56 points. You say 46 or 56 points a game?
56 points, and that's including the Ensworth and the Tyner Academy games where they scored under 50. So
what's crazier, Tate? Nashville Christian's offensive numbers or Oakland's defensive numbers this year?
I think Oakland's defensive numbers, because it's in 6A, and then, the schools that they've played, their non-region games. I mean, it's impressive. And I guess you went through them last night. It's I've heard a bunch of people ask, is this Kevin Creasy's best Oakland team? I don't know if it's his best Oakland team, but it's his best Oakland defense.
Ramon,
crazy.
They, before last night, had allowed 6 points in the second half all season.
Hold up. Say the whole season?
Not average, all season. And Riverdale, with 1 touchdown, was able to surpass that. A credit to them. But, I mean, some of the numbers are crazy.
Oh, my God.
Hey, and going into last night, they'd only given up 1 rushing touchdown.
Yeah. Hadn't given up a point since October 2nd. We can keep going.
And I'm guessing this is probably what the B team or the C team is when those points went on the board.
They take pride in that goose egg, is what Kevin Creasy told me this week. But again, that's why Oakland won the game. But that's why I kind of wanted to almost start with Riverdale, Tate, because I couldn't say enough about how well that offense played with a sophomore throwing the football, a freshman catching passes.
Yeah, I know. I mean, the future is bright for sure. And Coach Price, they've opened that thing up offensively a few years ago, and they had the Gatorade Player of the Year a couple years ago, didn't they? But they just find a way to win, man. They always find a way to win.
I want to ask you.
Now they got that one late last night. Yeah. That scores. It was really a 28. I mean, it's not, but It was really a 28-21 game.
Oakland facing a 4th and 2 inside their own 20, and instead of punting it back to Riverdale to try the 2-minute, they go for it, get it, game over, and then they score a touchdown on top of that.
Yeah. He wasn't running the clock out, was he?
No.
I want to ask you one after we're done with this because this matchups across the state is going to be wild. But Columbia, Tullahoma, how do you see this one unfolding tonight?
Yeah, well, this is another one that's so many of these. I love that all these Week 11 games are coming down to deciding region championships. But this is another one that does that. Tullahoma, Columbia is 5-3, but they're 3-0 on the year in the region. So if they can win, they're the outright champion. But Tullahoma has a chance to get this thing into a 3-way tie. Columbia beat Lincoln County in overtime in Week 9, but Lincoln County beat Tullahoma in Week 7. So if Tullahoma can beat Columbia tonight, they can get this thing into a 3-way tie. I believe they'll finish second in the tiebreakers, and Lincoln County will finish 1. But that gets them an opening. That gives them an opening round home playoff game. But one of my favorite guys in the mid-state, Marvancy Johnson, linebacker, but tailback for the Wildcats in Tullahoma. Man, he's a guy that needs to have a really, really big night. And he usually does running the ball. Alex Bobo is one of the best two-way guys down in that area at wide receiver and DB. But then Columbia, man, I love how they play as well. If you've had them on TV, they're your kind of team, Ramon. They're going to run the ball. That's what they're going to hang their hat on. Good offensive line play. They always have. That's what Tre'Davious Goff, their head coach, believes in. And they've got a couple of guys in Daniel Booker and Jamari Brown that are big play guys. If you give them space, they can beat you. So it's at Tullahoma. They're probably going to be wearing the black, the all black uniforms with black helmets tonight in honor of Halloween. So it's another one that's got region championship implications on the line tonight.
And then the last one locally, NBA at Ainsworth. Could be, spicy because that's a rivalry, but how do you see this one playing out?
Well, it's big for a lot of reasons, but huge for Ainsworth because it keeps them, if they win this game, it keeps them in second place in the D2 AAA East region. Man, this D2 stuff is hard, right? So, but if it's big for them. Remember, they've got that McCauley win. So if they can win tonight against NBA, their rival, that makes them second place, which you want. You want to be away from Baylor in the playoffs, right? I mean, it just is what it is. And so if they can do that, they do that. If not, then it gets a little bit tricky. So, and it's Ainsworth came from Montgomery Bell Academy, kind of, and so these are a lot of these. The families of these schools, they do life together, right? So, but I think you got to think Ainsworth is the favorite. But when you look at NBA's kind of flying under the radar, right? They got 3 losses, but then when you look at their losses, they're to Baylor, McCauley, and then that heartbreaker to CPA. So it's not like they've lost to anybody that's not a good football team. And so how does it go tonight? It's going to depend on how much offense NBA can get going. I know they wrote an article about their 2-quarterback system with Hugh Price and Charlie Verner, but they don't really alternate them. They just kind of go with who's got the hot hand. NBA is going to have to score in the 20s to be able to get this win. If it gets out of the 20s, NBA's in trouble.
Tate, I just have to ask you. I told you I was going to ask you a personal one here, not necessarily the teams, but like I'm looking at what these playoffs are going to be. And one team I watched last night, we followed a little bit, was Martin Westview versus Covington. Both were undefeated, and I'm looking at like Graham Simpson absolutely having a career year as a sophomore. These playoffs from west to east are going to be insane, Tate.
Ty Simpson's brother.
Yeah, they're going to be fun, man.
Ty Simpson's little brother, yeah.
Well, and he's having a career year as a sophomore. He had a career year as a freshman last year. The only reason they didn't win is they bumped into Alcoa, right, in the 3A game. Didn't he break the TSAA record last year with a 11 touchdown performance? I think last year, Graham. I'm pretty sure he did.
I think he did. Did he win Mr. Football, or he was second up because he was a freshman? I forget which one it was, but. You want to talk about a year he's had, and he's backed it up with another one right now. He's going to be highly sought after.
No doubt about his when his 4-year career is over, he'll probably break every record because they're not going to slow down how they're playing. But yeah, they've got a big claim this year in 3A because Alcoa's moved up, and then Milan's got a really, really good team in 2A. So yeah, man, playoffs are going to be fun and they kind of changed how they do it this year, right? You're not going to have to wait until the 3rd or 4th round to see some of those Middle Tennessee and West Tennessee playoffs. We'll see them in the second round. So we won't have to wait long, man. 2 weeks, 1 week away for round 1.
Tate Matthews presented by.
Hey, guys, did y'all see? But we got to talk about this too. You mentioned the Battle of the Borough last night.
Yeah,
Lucas. Well, there was the Battle of the Wood.
Yeah, I was about to ask you.
It's a hill I'm going to die on. It is not Battle of the Woods. It is the Battle of Brentwood. There is only one city of Brentwood.
Well, what does the trophy say, Tate? What does the trophy say?
Well, in the early days when Jack Daniels started it, it said Battle of the Wood, and then somebody went in there and changed it. So I'm not okay with this. I refuse to conform to this. But in the Battle of the Wood last night, by the way, Ravenwood finished 10-0. Wow. 3rd time in school history, the 2014 and the 2024 team, now 2025. Did you see Maverick Chance's stats last night?
Yeah, what do you call this? Is this a hat trick? What?
Yeah, it's a hat trick, man. We all knew he could run it. We all knew he could throw it. Now they've got this cat. They're throwing him the ball now, but he was 7 for 10, 146 yards, 2 touchdowns. He had 81 rushing yards and a touchdown. He had 3 receptions for 100 yards and a touchdown. I guess the only thing left to do is return kicks.
The Navy commit. Yeah, I think I know who our high school football hero of the week needs to be to try and get Maverick Chance on Tuesday on the Buck Rising Show. I'm going to shoot Coach Ricky Rodriguez a text about that. Yeah, phenomenal. And the way he's splitting duties with Femi Babalola, the Boston College commit, like it's such a cool story. And for that to get some national attention too, The Athletic wrote a great feature piece on those two that grew up together and now are kind of carrying the load. What up, Slay? What up, as Ravenwood might be on a collision course with Oakland in the TSSAA playoffs. Tate, presented by Freedom Boat Club. Tell us about the folks at Freedom Boat Club on the way out.
Freedom Boat Club, boating made simple. They are the state's largest and most awarded boat club. And, well, we're winding down the season now. You don't really want to – you can still get out there with a hoodie and kind of cruise around if the sun's out. But now's the time of the year where if you do own boats, you're having to do the hassle of get them out of the water, get them winterized, find out where you're going to store them for the year. And Freedom Boat Club, none of those problems because they own the boats. You just use them. You make your reservation online or on the phone. And you show up, they've got tri-tunes, they've got double-deckers, bow riders, surf boats. They've got something for everybody. They're running specials right now. All you got to do is go to freedomboatclubtn.com. It'll show you how to get signed up and what a great Christmas present for that person that is really hard to buy for. So if you go to freedomboatclubtn.com, you can learn about the one-time entry fee and then the monthly dues. I promise you, it does not disappoint. Your family will really, really be happy. We'd love nothing more than to. Maybe we need to get a little lake day next week. We'll get Big Moan on a tri-tune, Lucas, and then Ramon will know what we're talking about.
Yeah, exactly, man. So I won't mistakenly buy a boat one day.
That's right.
Tate Matthews. Follow him on Twitter at Tate Matthews. That is Matthews with 1 T. You can hear him tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. High School Sports Saturdays of Matthews Team Sports. Tate, appreciate the time, man.
Appreciate it, Tate.
All right, fellas. Great job as always. Big one tomorrow, Moan.
Yeah.
Knoxville.
Yeah, I have my old black on, man. It's going to be one
Dark
of the
mode.
ones. Dark mode. Spooky Rocket Top. Go Vols.
Appreciate it, Tate.
Boys.
See you, man. Let's get a vibe on that Tennessee-Oklahoma game. Ron Slay in studio next.
Go off, Savage.
No, about this shit. Hey, man, this is my jam, dog. Hey, man, it was cold, boy. Hey, this was cold.
All right, so talk to us about this.
DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. A Nightmare on My Street.
Knew there was some Fresh Prince vibes.
Hey, man, this right here is so cold. So he go through Freddie, talk about Jason.
Yeah,
man,
I have heard this.
This was a hit, man.
Will went off on this, didn't he?
No, killed it. Like, literally killed it.
You can run this back.
I'm telling you, dog. He rolled this thing on out. Him and Jazzy Jeff, man.
Yeah.
They hit on every single thing. It came out, I want to say, around Halloween, MTV, you know, when they were bubbling.
Yeah.
Bubbling with their videos and everything. They released it, man. I mean, it was a hit. It was a smash, dog. Nightmare on my street. It's a video and everything for it.
I remember seeing the video.
Dog, I'm telling you, man. Like, this is...
Family friendly too.
No,
that's clean.
Man, let it roll, man. You know what I mean? This was fresh off the heels of summertime.
Oh, so he went from one to the other?
Man, yeah, he can't miss.
We don't even need a clean version.
No,
just play that thing straight up.
Play it, dog.
A Nightmare on My Street.
Dude, I'm telling you, dog. And he's slapping on it. Hey, man, I'm gonna be real. Will is outside of the Chris Rock slap and what he got going on personally with the wife and however going on. But artist-wise, rapper, actor, all of that, man, the man don't miss, man.
He hadn't.
I hate
that Chris Rock moment.
The man don't miss. That crushed him. You know what I'm saying? He tried to build back, but outside of that,
I'm being real with you.
It's some cold actors out there.
Will ain't crushed to me.
Huh?
He's not
crushed. Okay.
He's still golden in my book.
Yeah, okay.
I'm going to separate Jada from him.
Yeah, but it's just a rock slap for me.
But I can separate the slap, though, too. Because you know, and I know, and Lucas, you're going to find out, too, when your ladies speak up on something, you can either look like a coward or you going to overreact like how Will did. That's just...
I'm totally with that. Okay. So we don't go too far.
It's okay.
This is all I want to say.
That's me on him.
You know I got to have a rebuttal.
Come on.
This is my problem. It wasn't his lady. And she came out later in her own little, red table interview and was like, we hadn't talked in forever. We just went to this thing together. I'm looking at Will like, oh, you didn't see this?
No.
Oh, this will change your perspective. This will change your whole perspective on this. No, she wouldn't say. She said, and this is a lie to me. She said, I was looking at Will like, what? Why you tripping? Like, what's up? She flipped it on him. Just made him play like he was crazy.
Will, just gone.
And he was trying to defend her. That's what made me really say they crazy.
Don't end it, Will.
Man, I'm telling you, man, trip me out.
I'm all for keeping it together.
That's all I'm saying. Now, he did the right thing. I'm with him. We talked about that when it happened. She came out with her own red table interview, whatever it is, her own little podcast.
Come on, Will.
Threw him smooth up under the bus. Smooth.
Don't she understand what Will mean to us?
That's dog. I'm
Lucas, I'm sure the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air means something to you too.
It means something to everybody.
Independence
come on,
Day.
Man.
I mean, he gave us that.
Savage, he don't miss. Denzel is here.
Yeah,
no question about it. Acting skills.
It's 3. It's
Will,
a big 3.
Man. Will is he knocking on anybody door.
Denzel is tier 1.
Yeah.
Tier 1.
Acting wise, it's just tough. It's tough. He don't have many blockbusters like Will, dog.
I know. Jamie does.
Jamie
Foxx.
See them.
Will and Jamie Foxx to me.
Come on, Sam.
Will and Jamie, both of them got Grammys.
Happy Halloween, man. Play Baby Ball song. That's what you should have bumped me back with.
Baby Ball song.
Bump me back with Baby. When we come back in the last hour, play Baby. Send it to him, man.
Where's Denzel's Grammy? Man,
the Training Day is the only one he got.
No, Oscar.
Oh, wow.
That's Oscar. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Denzel got the Oscar on Training Day. He got another one too.
Yeah.
Did he get it on Fences?
I just rolled through all the Equalizers recently.
I love
Equalizers. I love it.
I can't stand what's the one that that what's his name? Them dude like the Mad Max ones and all those.
Like Man on Fire.
No, I'm talking about like the overly crazy action movies. Like Terry Crews was in all those movies.
Oh, the
them.
Expendables.
The Expendables. I can't deal with them. I can't deal with all the Fast and Furious. But Denzel kicking ass on the movie.
Yeah, I take that.
I'm gonna watch that. Because Denzel will tell you he really do that.
Yeah.
He'll grab you and poke you in your chest and have you breathing.
Stick them on the chat. You are absolutely right. Right after parents just don't understand it was a playoff that. You sure was right. That's where Nightmare on My Street came from. Yep. Good job. Good job, chat. Y'all involved. I see y'all chat.
That's what they want right here, Lucas.
Yeah.
They don't
Yeah.
want to talk about Titans.
For what?
The anxiety of the Vols game. They don't want to talk about that either.
My next bump back song, y'all go get this, download this on all your platforms, Apple Tunes, iTunes, iApples. You know what I mean?
iApples?
Yeah, Spotify.
Don't dog us like that.
You know what I mean?
Don't
All
dog
that.
us
Don't
like
know them
that.
like that.
Don't do us like that because you're doing that on purpose.
I am doing it. That's my
Yeah.
that's my bad.
You team who out here? Samsung?
Galaxy.
It's all the same. It's all the same, Moan.
Lewis not paying. Don't do that. What the hell? The hell it is? I ain't writing my name on no board.
This is an Apple show.
I'll take a bite out of it.
Speaking of apples, real quick, before we actually do some sports, I guess, at
Man,
this
this is
point.
a great show to me.
It's phenomenal, is what I'm telling you. What kind of candy we doing? Lucas, Savage?
Well, I don't know. I'm scared to go. Scared to go near Slay's candy at this point.
No.
Just don't touch the cookies.
I already got.
Don't touch the cookies.
That's all. Oh, it's simple.
Don't touch the
I'll bring
cookies.
you some in. Or just ask if you. It's an alarm on it. If you didn't hear it go off, it's a silent alarm.
Can I have
that
a
gets
cookie?
triggered. You absolutely can, Hawk.
Damn right.
I got called out by my neighbors.
These fools were sneaking over there, getting cookies and stuff, and videoing each other, throwing each other under the bus.
They did. They did.
Those things took me out too. But I'm wearing the jersey
back now
that I won a championship in on the same day I got taken out by your lace cookies.
So you back?
I'm back. Yeah,
I like that, Pan.
I didn't realize, by the way, Pan, I don't want to expose too much about you.
No, please.
That's
This
my
is
dog.
good. No, that's my man. Me and Pan. Listen, y'all don't know. Me and Pan came in this game together.
I want you to know this, Lucas. I ain't never said this over air. If there's anybody that ever wrote for you before besides your fiance, run, Slay.
We stand on the table for my guy.
He talks about you like you little bro.
That's
I
my
just want you to
dog.
know, like, he
I'm
is a
telling you.
Lucas Panzeca fan.
I'm telling you.
You know what I didn't know about your little bro over here was Lucas is clean up top.
Yeah.
I'm talking about clean.
Yeah.
Always been hair is thick and lush.
The Italian.
His legs so damn hair.
Yeah.
Mosquitoes ain't ever biting Lucas.
That.
They never bite Lucas. I know
they
for
did
a
bite
fact.
him.
They
on the
did?
backside.
It is plump.
See, J-Hawk, we not here to talk about the humps in the rump back here, okay? That's what Hawk want to do. I see where your mind is, but soon to be dad.
I get enough of that 3 hours a day, Hawk.
I got little peanuts back here.
Whoa. This is a family network, Hawk.
I get objectified enough on this radio station.
That's right. You're right, man.
Hold your ground.
I feel safe here.
Yeah, you do. Yes, you do.
It's all Buck's fault.
Yes, it is, man. That man is exposed. He's exposed you like that. What the hell?
What do we want to talk about here? I'm good with this.
Everything and anything, Panda, man.
I
That's
mean,
all.
I do have a question for you.
Go ahead. I'm going to step out. It's me. I'm the problem.
No. Tennessee Duke exhibition game last Sunday.
Yeah.
Folks probably catching up on that. College basketball is about to start.
Dude.
I'll be at the Curb Center Monday. Belmont Air Force. Excited about that. Besides Nate Ament and Jacoby Gillespie, who everybody knows about and is excited about that at this point, who do people need to know about this Tennessee basketball team outside of those two?
I think when you look at it, a loaded front court like they have, I think it was going to be difficult to find minutes for a guy like Dwayne Brown. I was thinking red shirt come in, but man, Big G, the strength and conditioning coach, man, shaved all of that baby fat down off him. Man, got him cut up and ripped, and you saw it. Coming from a guy that liked to work angles, you know what I mean? That's how the boom boom room came into effect, and knowing where, you know what I mean, how to use the glass, use your hands, your quickness with your feet. Dwayne Brown got it, man. He is going to be a problem to come and deal with in the SEC for years to come, dog. It's this young man coming out the bench, like you see Jalen Carey, Cade Phillips, J.P. Estrella, and Felix Okpara, and it rivals what the blueprint that Florida had. You know what I'm saying? So to be able to throw a fifth one in there, which means now if you really wanted to go get crazy with it and throw a big lineup out there and put Cade Phillips at the 3 and put Dwayne Brown at the 4, Felix at the 5, with Nate at the 2, Gillespie at the 1. Like, dog, that may be the biggest lineup. You know what I'm saying?
And they can run?
Yeah. Now, the only question would be, Rick Barnes is a stickler for man-to-man defense. I would have to switch up to like a 1-2-2 zone, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Put Gillespie at the top or right down one of them elbows and put Nate Mint or Cade Phillips up top. 6'10", 6'11" at the top. Yeah. Dude.
The ball got to go to the side.
Oh, my gosh, dog. Nothing's going inside. You ain't even got to – your defense ain't even got to be crazy.
Yeah.
But just the wingspan, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's something to look forward to, that with a press. But him, I think he's the guy Berg that came over from France is a guy that I think is going to translate good to what Tennessee does in the American style with him being a veteran, experienced guy playing professionally over there. I think kind of reminds you of Santi. Remember how Santi came in with a splash? I think in the SEC season. Now, that's what everybody got to realize, too. You got to be patient with this team. You got to wait because defensively they're not where they're not. Yeah, it's SEC season is where it's going to hit now. Granted, coming out of the exhibition, going 10 for 40 is not what Gillespie and Nate Mint going to do. You know what I mean? This wasn't a case where, you know what I mean, look at the shots they taking. Them bad shots. No, they just missed.
Okay.
They just missed.
That's what I was wondering for the panickers out there.
Yeah, don't panic.
Okay.
Yeah, put your flak jacket on and walk right into this fire. You're going to be cool. I'm telling you, this right here, man, this young man, Gillespie, can put the ball in the hole. Nate Mint, it wasn't one of those freeze-up moments. I'm a freshman. I ain't going to get my shot. He kept shooting, which is good to see. Right. And it wasn't bad shots. So they're going to be fine. You know what I mean? Just get a little bit more balance. But defensively, you got to find one more guy to be able to put that ball in the hole also and play defense on that wing. Like Amari Abrams, that's a good look. Trying to think. I know I'm missing somebody. But Bishop Boswell, if he could just score, it'd be perfect. Now, I don't know if I'm sure he can score, but have the green light to go and score. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe a yellow light. But at some point, when that defense locked down like that and you go through them droughts, you got to put it in the hole. You have to. Like, that's just where the game is today.
I saw J.P. Estrella go above the rim.
Yeah.
Where is his role in all this newness and just the elevation of talent?
Yeah, energy and body catching up with the flow of the game. Okay. You know what I mean? Like Coach Barnes talked about it, him being out for a year makes a difference because you're sitting there watching it, and even though you've been practicing, you cannot simulate the adrenaline that you have to play with in the game under the lights. And they practice hard, you know what I mean? But you can't simulate that adrenaline, getting your feet right, going into your shot. It's just rhythm and instinct. Once he get that back, I'll give him probably December.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Run through the month of November. He's still going to get his minutes. But by the time December hit, that thing ought to come back like a training wheel. You know what I mean? He take that bad boy up off of him. He riding two wheels on him. You know what I'm saying? Cool bike. So no helmet.
It was fun. No helmet.
No, he out here.
I didn't even know we were supposed to wear helmets as kids.
I didn't either. We was out here. We put a hat on.
I didn't have
like that was my boy just like a bow.
No helmet and like in a playing card to put in between the spokes so it makes that sound.
And on top of that, Lucas, if we had pegs on the back, somebody was riding the pegs.
You better know it. They gonna sit on them pegs. I mean, stand on them pegs, dog. Yeah, you better believe it.
Yeah,
you better believe it.
God,
yeah, man.
dog.
So it's gonna be a good season. I think it's going. The SEC, they talking about it not being equaling up to what it was last year. It's going to be good this year, too. I don't see 14 teams making it, but it's hard to say that because LSU going to be better who missed it last year. You know what I'm saying? Like, I expect South Carolina to, make a run and make some noise and get in there. So, if it's not 14, it's most definitely 13. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. They loaded, Savage.
Who the three holding us up?
The three holding us up.
Potentially. Because nobody expected South Carolina to jump out like
no.
Georgia.
You don't know what Georgia is. You don't, even though they got some young guys, man, and some guards, they lost their main guy, though. So it's going to be those two main guys, but it's going to be interesting to see if Mike White can get it together. If Mike White don't get it together, Mike White can maybe be up there with Danny White just chilling. You never know, but he got to get this one together.
Okay.
And Georgia's the one. Mississippi State will be hovering. They so inexperienced.
Okay.
They got Hubbard and another guard, Jeffrey, Sean, what's his name? Sean Jefferson, I think. But they got them two. Other than that, it's going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough for A&M. They lost a lot.
A&M too?
I mean, Mississippi State.
Okay.
I put my Maroons together.
Missouri?
Missouri going to be fine.
Oh.
Missouri going to be fine. Yeah, big fella, Mark Mitchell. They transferred from Duke last year. They played for Missouri. Got a year on this belt. Like, they going to be good. Like, I'm telling you, I can see 14 gonna have a case. Then Sean Miller and them down there in Texas, they spent that bread. They opened their pocketbook up. They should have opened their pocketbook up for Rodney Terry. They didn't, but, you know what I mean, not all the way. Now, they got it open for Sean Miller. But he ain't got no bona fide Trey Johnson. Remember how I came back raving about Trey Johnson? Trey Johnson went lottery, but he don't have them. But he got some solid guys. You know what I'm saying? Tremont Mark comes back for him. So, it's hard to see Texas, if they take her home, not be in that race.
There is a pretty big headline that I want to get both of y'all's thoughts on. Something going on with ESPN and YouTube TV that's got people up in arms. I don't know how much that affects you guys. It affects a lot of the audience, and we'll hear Slay's workaround to it, his solution, when we come back.
Go on, baby ball.
Come on, baby ball.
All right, talk to us about it, Slay.
That's
Go
my
on, baby
nephew,
ball.
man. Come on, baby ball.
Go on, baby ball. Hey, man, this right here, that's Lil Ron, man. That's Baby Ball is his little music name. He came up with this. This might have been about 3 years ago.
About 3 years ago.
Yeah, he was 12 at the time.
Dang,
11 or 12.
Lil
Yep.
Ron.
Yeah, man, came on through with it. You know what I mean? So y'all go check him out. Y'all subscribe to his page. He'll love that. Baby Ball. Check him out. He got plenty of videos on there. One thing about it, he can't make his voice do that no more.
No.
That man, puberty robbed him.
It's like
No
Michael
mask.
Jackson in the Jackson 5.
So is.
Well,
It's
now I want to
over
hear
with.
the grown-up Lil Ron do a version.
Oh, man, he come with it, though, man. The man is smooth entertainer, dog. I'm going to be real, man.
Our brother Renardo has continually said he going to be working for somebody at Pixar. Disney's doing something that's going to transition to it. Like, he is a creative, just genius with this stuff. So I got to give it up to the nephew.
Yeah, man.
Savage ain't lying on that one.
No, man. He got a nice little, what's the name? Got a nice book about to come out. He wrote a book. Got an EP about to drop. So it's in the spring,
Lucas,
man.
He's already earning in the house because he tell his daddy he trying to earn some bread around here. He DJing high school parties and everything.
Renaissance
DJing.
man.
Yeah, man. You can catch him at your local clubs, teen night, and everything. You can give him C Wiz some run for his money. You know what I mean?
Go, Lil Ron.
Trying to get in that C Wiz market.
All right, well, see if you can figure this one out. YouTube TV customers currently do not have access to ESPN, ABC, SEC Network. We've got Mike Greenberg, other ESPN voices and faces coming out telling everybody to go to a website, keepmynetworks.com, so you don't miss any of the action. And we go through this whole charade, Disney versus YouTube TV. Disney rates going up. They want people to subscribe to Disney to have ESPN+. YouTube TV rates, in turn, will keep going up. Probably going to get figured out between the two, but that means you're paying more for YouTube TV. Oh. You are a YouTube TV user, Mo. Slayer, you're not.
Oh, yeah. I'm riding with Savage.
Right.
Most definitely. Yeah. I don't get it.
How do we feel about that?
Yeah.
We need one.
This is what happened when ESPN about a few months ago decided they was going to make all their content exclusive to the app. They wanted to make sure that, look, you see all their originals on there. You can watch all your games on there. It's a power struggle, and here we are, and the consumer's just stuck in the middle. That's why I continually say we got to come together on this stuff. We had it. We had it as good as we needed it with cable.
It was fine.
With the box. Nobody. I liked having the stuff on my phone, too, but, like, legitimately, at this point, they got us by the cojones, and I'm thinking to myself, what we going to do?
Nothing.
We're going to pay.
Pay it.
And this is oh, my God.
Yeah.
I'm frustrated. Like,
that's it.
Well, how do they get to do this every single time, like on big weekends or just during the fall or just in general? Screw that part of it to me. And I get like the power play, but we're watching these people take their businesses and treat them like it's playing checkers. Like this isn't that. And we're just the black and red chips that raising about $2. That $2 nets you how many more billions of dollars? Yeah. Like, that's my thing. Like, get back to a single streaming stream. And I know somebody gonna hit me up, well, I got the best one for you. Yeah. I ain't trying to get caught and go to jail for pirating and stuff, okay? That's just legitimately my stance on it. But this is as dumb can get. And the consumers lose again because, as you said, they're either gonna separate or we're going to have to pay more for each one of them because whatever this split is, it's just dumb as F is what it is.
It's silly, dog. We just was talking about this during the break. Somebody did it. I don't know if it was Xfinity that did this a couple years ago. And, you know what I mean, you had to come to amends with it. But this right here, I don't know what you do, especially in the heat of all four major sports going on. Like all of them. Just period. This is crazy. This is crazy work right here. So the other part is I haven't heard YouTube come out and say anything. Like it's only been ESPN.
No, they came out on Twitter.
Oh, did they? What did they come out and say?
Basically that they're working through it. Disney, they want to make money, so does YouTube, yada, yada, yada. Yeah. If this problem persists, they will issue $20 credits, probably per monthly.
I want that damn weak-ass $20. I don't, because that pisses me off, man. You don't give me $20 of credit to the place I got to go spend the $20 at again. No, give me my damn money back. Put it in my account.
We're going to give you $20 to come spend it back with us.
Yeah, come spend this $20 with me.
Here you go.
Be like Walmart. Let me bring some used there, okay? Yeah, exactly. Say, what is it here? Here, both hands open with them.
This is ridiculous.
This is ridiculous.
I wonder if Jeff Landry's a YouTube TV user.
Not for real.
Jeff Landry in his living room.
Party. The water's fine. Does this man got a bow and arrow?
Come on, Buck.
Does he have a bow and arrow?
Oh, my gosh, Buck.
Arabian Nights. This I don't know. It's Arabian Nights.
In this Egyptian world right now. You know Egyptian out here.
Is this a real sword, Buck?
I don't know if I can get it out.
Do this?
That's what.
No, hold on, dog.
Hold on now.
That's a real sword, y'all.
Yeah, but it's like a butter knife.
Sound
Get
like
behind
butter
Lucas.
knife?
Get behind Lucas.
Cut his throat.
We've all been waiting.
Hey,
Let's go, Buck.
It's a good thing the LSU governor don't have that because ain't no telling.
What you
Dog,
talking
listen
about?
to this thing, dog.
Real.
They just
Man,
used
it's
it on
heavy as
Scott
hell.
Woodward. He's out.
They sliced him.
He's gone.
They got him gone.
That's
Savage, pull up out of the holster real
Dog,
quick.
this man, dude, you can't, Savage. I think you got to have some kind of. I knew it. You had to have.
it's like King Arthur.
It's yeah.
I don't think that's
Golly.
Excalibur.
Excalibur.
Excalibur, that's what it
Excalibur.
is.
Does this thing work?
Does it work? Yeah.
Is it on?
Yeah, there he is.
All right. Yeah, it's like King Arthur. You gotta be of the right. What is it? Pure of heart.
Pure of
Excalibur.
heart.
Get
Yeah,
this thing out. Look at you.
God,
Well, that's a visual that everybody needed today. What do you mean? How did I do it?
Justin,
you got to have air of blood.
I
That's
know
what
you've
I'm
been
saying.
working out. Like, how
Look
you
here,
get that
look here,
out
look
of
here.
I see. Hey, man. It's magic. Buck magic.
All right, Justin, you clip Slade tugging at that sword from right under the table. We're gonna get out of here. Moan's gonna stick around.
No, look at Ross back there.
Look at Ross Johnston. What are you, a Titan fan?
Yeah. You see the bag over his head?
There you go.
We ass.
Happy Halloween.
This is why he shouldn't have said it right there. The
This
wee
is the
ass
reason.
is trending right now.
It's beautiful.
Y'all be safe tonight, kids. Don't do nothing stupid. Parents, check in on your kids tonight. Don't be drinking and driving, doing stupid stuff. Y'all know how we do. Call your people, love your people, man. We are more alike than we are different, as I always say. But at all costs, make it back to us on Monday. Peace.